Chapter 838. In the north, as soon as the old man appeared, he killed 3 rank 9s in an instant with invincible momentum. The rank 9s who were fighting below were not in the mood to fight anymore. They roared and unleashed their ultimate moves, trying to shake off their opponents. However, their opponents were all from the Heavenly Mandate Legion. At this moment, the true leader of the Heaven's Mandate Army had arrived. The people Ji Yao brought also went crazy. Ji Hong didn't care about anything. The Imperial Court battle was led by the old man. He was the true #1 person in the military. Once the old man arrived, how could the others let their opponents go at this moment? All of them fought with all their might. On the other hand, Fong Ping's expression was grave. This was going to be troublesome. As soon as this person arrived, his only thought was, "Oh well, Zhang's doppelganger definitely couldn't kill this person. What a pity, what a pity." The old man strode leisurely, spear in hand, chasing after the last escaping powerhouse. He sighed and said, this old man wanted to go to the Heaven Plant Royal Court and find Zhao Xingwu and Gu Yu to fight. I didn't expect Gu Yu to be in seclusion and Zhao Xingwu to be unwilling to help. Compared to these two, the others are still lacking. As for Zhang Weiyu, he's much weaker. The old man was very arrogant. In his eyes, even if Zhang Weiyu and the other 3 joined forces, they would only be able to fight him. As for Zhao Xingwu and Gu Yu, although they might not be as famous as Zhang Weiyu, their strength should be stronger than him. However, Gu Yu was in seclusion, and it seemed like he was preparing to advance to the true king realm. As for Zhao Xingwu, the martial artist from the Land of Rebirth, he was currently lying low and unwilling to make a move. The other party was the commander of the left wing of the Tianji army. If he forcefully made a move, that would be challenging the Tianji royal court. As for you, Fong Ping, right? The old man completely ignored the 9th pin who was trying to escape. The heart of the long spear moved at will, and with a casual strike, the opponent stopped in his tracks. As if he was teasing a child, the old man stabbed his spear casually, without any technique. But the opponent had no way to escape. Fong Ping, cooperation must be built on the basis of strength. You don't have the strength, and you only know how to scheme and scheme. I don't want this kind of cooperation. After saying that, the old man pierced the last person's head with his spear. The other party didn't show any signs of exploding. His aura was directly extinguished, and he fell to the ground. The old man came walking on air. He did not even look at the battles in other places. He landed 100 meters away from Fong Ping, looked at him, and said coolly, "You are not qualified. I don't know why Yao chose to cooperate with you. Perhaps you are related to True King Resurrection, but so what? With the Destiny Royal Court strength, there was no need for a middleman to cooperate with True Monarch Rebirth. King Wu, are we cooperating or not?" As soon as he said that, the crystal book in Fong Ping's arms trembled slightly. After a while, someone smiled faintly. "Qi Huanyu? Not dead yet? How long had the old man lived? I'm afraid you won't be able to become a true monarch in this lifetime." "Who knows?" The old man smiled faintly. "The day the Heaven Fate Royal Court devours the world and unifies the God Continent will probably be the day I become a true king. At that time, is King Wu willing to fight? You want to fight me? You're no good. You're too weak. You're not worthy of my attention. On the day my longevity sword advances to the 9th grade quintessence Dao, I will be able to fight you." Longevity sword? The old man suddenly turned his head and looked into the distance. There was an armored warrior there, his sword cutting through the void and killing countless people. He was extremely powerful. Not weak. When he enters the quintessence Dao, he can indeed fight me. I didn't expect that the Land of Rebirth would have such a genius. "Qi Huanyu, you want to join the battles?" Zhang Tao's voice came again. The old man stared at Fong Ping's arms for a while before saying, "Interesting. King Wu is indeed powerful. Your clone is a little problematic. Is it all of them, or this one? Are you watching the battle after you open the resurrection passage?" "Not really. You're here. I was just stimulated and revived." "I see." The old man smiled faintly. "Yao wants to kill King 100 Mountain. King 100 Mountain is indeed troublesome. King Wu, are you interested? Yes, but you'll have to pay the price. Please speak, King Wu. Kill all the rank 9 god continent in the region. That's all? Of course. Force Zhang Weiyu and the rest to help them reach the top. King Wu, aren't you afraid that I'll kill them? If they die, you die. Everyone in the Ji family will die. Even a life king. This is what I have to say. Qi Huanyu, what do you think? The old man's expression changed slightly. He said in a low voice, King Wu is strong, but you're still not strong enough to kill Lord Life King. You're just a frog in a well. How dare you talk to me about this? You, Qi Huanyu, are invincible among rank 9. That's just a title you gave yourself. We didn't have a battle back then. Otherwise, I'll fight 1 against 3 martial artists like you. Ha ha! The old man sneered. Zhang Tao said indifferently, Fong Ping, kill this old thing the day you step into rank 9. He's a good whetstone for you, Li Chongqing, and even Wang Jinyang and the rest. Of course, if you kill him, then he won't be able to whetstone anymore. Do whatever you want. This person's origin is broad. It's a line away from 1,000 meters. Unfortunately, he still can't break away from the secular world. If the Life King doesn't die, it'll be hard for him to become a true king. Don't bother about him. Fong Ping, on the other hand, looked dazed. Minister, this was not a problem with the procedure. Old Zhang seemed to be able to connect with his main body. It's just a small trick. Zhang Tao did not say much. He felt a little helpless and a little regretful. This avatar was not prepared for Qi Huanyu. It was prepared for the old man in the bounded domain. It was special, but the price was not small. Now that Qi Huanyu had appeared, his strength was powerful, and the avatar was stimulated and revived. In this way, it was about to dissipate. Zhang Tao did not continue this topic. He said again, ask the others to stop. Leave everyone to Qi Huanyu. As a price, King 100 Mountain can be killed. However, I need your cooperation. The Ji family is ambitious. They actually want to have 3 or even 4 true kings. The Life King's ability is not good, but his ambition is big. Zhang Tao laughed indifferently. The Ji family wanted to kill King 100 Mountain not just because of Ji Yao. It was the entire Ji family. It seemed like the Ji family wanted to get rid of these unstable factors before dealing with the 2 kings. Once King 100 Mountain was dead, the Life King would have enough energy to deal with the 2 kings. That was good. If they did not kill King 100 Mountain, the Life King might not go all out. That old thing was also very cunning. While the 2 of them were talking, Qi Huanyu's expression changed again and again. After a while, he said, all the true kings know that I've entered the domain. If I kill these people, I'm afraid the true kings will suspect me. Useless. Just fight the true kings. If you don't die, you also have a chance to become a true king. If you become a true king, you can either kill the Life King, fight the other true kings, or wait for the Destiny Royal Court to unify the catacombs. As the commander-in-chief, you have a chance to advance. In my opinion, fighting the true kings is your best chance. For example, you can fight a weakling like King Huai. What are you afraid of? Zhang Tao said playfully. Otherwise, you will die at the hands of humans sooner or later, unless you don't want to be enemies with humans for the rest of your life. Qi Huanyu, think about it. I'll enter the domain in half an hour. I'll settle everything in half an hour. As soon as he finished speaking, the crystal book in Fong Ping's arms suddenly shattered. Fong Ping's expression changed, and he quietly took a step back. Damn it, old Zhang was not reliable. The avatar was shattered. This old man was a little too strong. Old Zhang despised King Huai very much, but he was a little serious about this old man. Moreover, he did not deny the other party's words. Zhang Weiyu and the rest were not his match. Only old man Li had a chance to fight the other party when he stepped into the origin path. However, if old man Li entered the origin path, he might advance with 200,000 calories vitality. Golden body, 9th refinement. After advancing, it was very likely that he would reach this number. Moreover, old man Li's vitality strength was high to begin with, double that of the rest. When that time came, Even if he did not take many steps into the origin path, it would be comparable to a normal rank 9's 400,000 calories vitality. Only a powerhouse like this could fight this old man? Did that not mean that this Qi Huanyu's basic vitality was at least 200,000 calories, and his strength was doubled, which was almost at the peak, so he could also reach 400,000 calories vitality destruction? No wonder killing rank 9 was so easy. How could those martial artists with less than 100,000 calories vitality be his match? Zhang Weiyu and the rest should be quite a distance away from him, right? But this guy actually didn't become a true king? Thoughts rose in Fang Ping's mind. This time, 7 Southern Territory was really full of surprises. Even an old antique like this had appeared. Judging from old Zhang's tone, this guy's qualifications might not be inferior to some true kings. At this moment, Qi Huanyu suddenly attacked. His target was none other than Fang Ping. Fang Ping moved his feet. A Chongdao in his hand appeared, and he slashed a void rift. However, the rift was pierced directly by the other party, and the other party's long spear appeared on Fang Ping's forehead in the next moment. You've become a divine general, and you dare to say that you can fight me? Qi Huanyu looked indifferent, shaking his head lightly. Martial King has overestimated you. Even that longevity sword might not be able to do it. I'm looking forward to being invincible in the divine general realm. It's too lonely. Fang Ping cursed in his heart. What was he pretending to be? This was a catacombs powerhouse. If it was a human, Fang Ping would have to tell him that he was only 20 years old. He would not reach the peak even if he lived until he was an old tortoise. He was a good-for-nothing. Invincible divine general? Old Zhang and the rest were invincible true kings. The gap between both parties was huge. They could kill you with a single breath, and you still had the cheek to complain? He had even become a true king and challenged old Zhang. Fang Ping had no doubt that even if this fellow had become a true king and met old Zhang, 30 punches would be enough to kill him if he could not kill him in 3 punches. Was he still arrogant? Qi Huanyu chuckled. The long spear disappeared, no longer bothering about Fang Ping. He looked at the people who were still fighting and said lightly, "Kill them. I'll go somewhere else to take a look. Before I come back, I don't want to see these people still alive." After saying that, the fellow disappeared in the blink of an eye. Fang Ping's expression changed. He glanced at Ji Yao, who was a little smug and did not say anything. He sneered in his heart. Idiot! At the same time, at the passageway entrance, Zhang Tao's mentality fluctuated violently. In the next moment, a cat's head appeared on the other side of the passageway. The cat had a few more skewers on its paws. As it ate, it asked, "What's your name? Why did you call me?" Zhang Tao brushed past it with his mentality, feeling slightly helpless. This time, Fang Ping and the rest could only wait to cry. All the rank 9 monsters were eaten. Gone. This cat followed the people who were fighting. Almost all the rank 9 monsters that fell down were eaten by it. Fang Ping wanted to retrieve the spoils of war after this. Dream on? However, this cat ate a lot and was agile in its work. Other things aside, stabbing 12 rank 9s to death was a great achievement. Old Zhang comforted himself in his heart. Soon, his mentality fluctuated. A powerhouse has entered. Can you sense it? I can sense it. Do you want to stab him to death? He's not a true god. Not for now. Qi Huanyu was the commander-in-chief of the Destiny Royal Court. Killing him would mean a complete fallout with the Destiny Royal Court. The other party was not as important as the true king. The key was that he was a member of the Ji family. If he killed the king of 100 Hills, the Ji family would not seek revenge. At most, they would shout a few words. However, if he killed Qi Huanyu, even the Life King would seek revenge. That fellow was the Life King's eldest disciple. Old Zhang had suspected that he was the Life King's illegitimate son. The probability was not small, although he did not know why the catacombs' true king did not admit it. If he killed him, it would easily cause big trouble. However, old Zhang still said quickly, "Keep an eye on him. If he attacks humans, you stab him to death." The cat tilted its big head and mumbled, "I'll keep an eye on him if you want me to." "I'm not doing it anymore," old Zhang said hurriedly. "Cat food? You owe me 70 bags. I want to taste it first." "I'm not doing it now." You can't stab him to death, can you? You're the one who can't stab him to death. The cat was instantly displeased. It shook its big head and explained, "You may be strong, but you have no idea how powerful I am. Back then, I stabbed a few true gods to death. Forget it. You won't know who I am even if I tell you." At this point, the cat suddenly said, "Oh right, that guy. There was someone in armor just now. I think he looked familiar. Who did you guys dig out?" Zhang Tao's heart skipped a beat. He smiled. "You know him? You're not lying? He was the one back then. You're talking nonsense. I just don't really remember. I'm a little groggy from sleeping. Anyway, I think he looks familiar. That armor. It looks like... What? Emperor armor? It's more or less the same. That's it." The cat shook its head again. It was still groggy from sleep. It had lived for too long and slept for too long. It had slept for 1,000 years and had long forgotten a lot of the past. It had almost forgotten the people and things that it was not familiar with. The cat continued, "Emperor armor, God destroyer spear, God of war bow, heavenly king seal, heaven crushing sword. I think I've seen a few divine weapons before. I have them too, but I won't show them to you. That guy you said I don't know? But I know." Zhang Tao's heart skipped a beat. He smiled. "Are divine weapons very strong? No matter how strong they are, they can't be stronger than others. You're very strong. That's why you don't care. But other true gods aren't as strong as you. Even if you're strong, you don't have divine weapons. You can get stronger if you get them. What does the Heavenly King seal look like?" Old Zhang suddenly asked. "What does it look like?" The cat fell into memory and mumbled. "Who remembers? It can't be eaten. It's only when I see it that it looks familiar. Also, don't try to trick me. I won't tell you." "Oh right. Is the cat food delicious?" "Delicious." Old Zhang was tired. They were talking business. "Don't think about cat food. Help me keep an eye on that guy. Also, I'm going to Mount Imperial Sea later." "Oh right. Do you like to eat imperishable substances?" "Imperishable substances. Tastes average. Gong Zhuanzi's body is soaking in the grotto heaven. It can't be eaten. Disgusting." Old Zhang was speechless again. "Disgusting? All right." He found out something else. It was really soaking in the bodies of those old antiques. It seemed like those old antiques had not recovered yet. "Does mentality eat it?" "That guy, I don't eat humans. Why do you keep asking this?" The cat was unhappy. It did not really eat these things. They were tasteless and human. Disgusting. "I don't eat them. I'm not a big dog that eats everything." Old Zhang felt slightly regretful. That kid Fong Ping could not hook up with this cat. It was not easy to meet a dumb cat, and it was a glutton. If it ate those things and let Fong Ping feed it, he might be able to hook it up. What a pity. Regret aside, Old Zhang said again, "Forget it if you don't like it. There are many delicacies among humans now. I'll let you try them when you're free. Also, my name is Zhang Tao. You can call me by my name. One last question. If you don't mind, can you tell me?" "What?" "Purple Cap Mountain's unquestionable sword. Do you know him?" You know Xiao Jin too?" On the other side of the passageway, the cat suddenly said excitedly, "You know him too? Xiao Jin is great. He used to fish for me to eat. Too bad. Too bad he left later and didn't fish for me to eat anymore." "Left? Where did he go?" "I don't know. Gong Zhuanzi said he appeared later and then ran away. But I was sleeping then. I didn't know he came back." "He came out and ran away? You mean the battle in the King Battleground?" "The King Battleground? What King Battleground?" "I don't know. Anyway, he came out, but he didn't come to see me. He didn't bring me food either. I'll ignore him the next time I see him. I even gave him the Sky Destroyer sword. I won't give him anything good next time." "Sky Destroyer sword?" Old Zhang's expression changed again. This cat gave a weapon to the Demon Emperor? What was this cat's background? From its tone, this divine weapon was probably a weapon of the impasse realm. How could it give it to someone just like that? This cat also had a divine weapon of its own? Old Zhang wanted to ask more, but the cat became impatient. "You have so many questions. So annoying. Forget it. I'll help you keep an eye on that newcomer. The next time you call me, you have to give me cat food first." "Oh, right. Remember to tell Xiaojian when you meet him. The road is blocked and can't be broken. Don't open up new paths for fun. It's useless. In the end, There will be too many and it'll be messy. Zhang Tao's heart was in turmoil. The road was blocked? Origin path? Don't open up new paths for fun? Play? If there were too many paths, it would be messy. Does this mean that opening up more paths really isn't feasible? I only have one thought now. At this moment, a thought suddenly appeared in old Zhang's mind. I want to catch this cat. A living fossil. It knows everything. That. So annoying, I'm leaving. The cat couldn't be bothered to listen to what he said. It was especially annoying. It kept asking until his head was swelling. I've already said that I'm asleep and forgot. Why are you still asking? Gong Zhuanzi doesn't even ask, but you keep asking. We're not even close. If not for the fact that I want to try cat food, I'll give you a cat tail. It ran away. Old Zhang took a deep breath. Sky-crushing sword, the arch armor, heavenly king seal. Heavenly king seal. He subconsciously glanced at Wang Jinyang and Yao Qingjun behind him. Were they using the god of war Bao and the god crasher? He didn't think that they were particularly powerful. To him, they were just top-notch 9th-grade divine weapons. However, it seemed that he had underestimated these divine weapons. Perhaps there was a special seal on them. At the same time, Qi Huanyu, who had arrived at Zhang Weiyu's battlefield, suddenly felt a chill down his spine. It seemed like someone was watching him. He could vaguely feel it. Who was watching him? A martial king? No, a martial king would not be such a big threat to him if he had not attained the domain. About 1,000 meters behind him, the cat was eating skewers and mumbling. My path has been taken. I can't go on anymore. Who did it? It's so bad. Why should I take someone else's path? However, he left first. If I poke the one who took his path to death, I can continue walking. Otherwise, I can only change paths. It's so difficult to change paths. The cat commented and forgot about it. Who cares? I'm not the one who left. Forget it, I won't care about him. Then he looked at Chen Yaozu and the rest who were extremely vigilant and continued to mumble. This won't do. I don't have enough essence, qi, and spirit. I won't be able to walk to the end. Unless what should I do? The cat seemed to have forgotten about it again. He stared at the big sun in the sky and suddenly remembered. Unless I use the essence, qi, and spirit of a true god to replenish it. Yes, I remember now. Poke a true god to death. The essence, qi, and spirit will overflow. They can be stimulated. The gray cat finally remembered. These few seemed to be unable to go on. They had used up everything. If this went on, not only would they fail this time, they would also fail the next time. One failure. The first time was also the time when they had the greatest chance. The next time, the path might shrink and collapse. I have to poke a true god to death. That person is so stupid. It's useless to be stimulated by a fake god. The cat continued to mumble. These people were really boring. Fighting back and forth, it would be a waste of time. Ignoring these people, the cat looked in the direction of Mount Yuhai. Was that person going to fight there? But no one there could beat him. It was boring. Did that person want to poke a true god to death to replenish their energy? After thinking for a long time, the cat continued to eat and looked at the big sun again. Did this cat forget something? Waiting for cat food, waiting for the big dog, waiting for a show, what else was there? I forgot. At the same time, in the bounded domain, the phantom was trembling violently. Cat! Gong Zhuanzi was going crazy. Where was the cat? If it didn't come back, the boundary wall would collapse. He had to seal the boundary wall immediately. This stupid cat? Is it asleep? No way. Gong Zhuanzi was about to collapse. He went out to find some food. With the cat's strength, he could easily get some food back. But where was the cat now? Once the boundary wall was sealed, it could not be opened again. If it was opened again, it would collapse. The phantom trembled incessantly. If the cat didn't come back in the time it took to drink a cup of tea, then he was afraid that he would lose this cat this time. It should be back soon. It should be soon. It just woke up not long ago. It won't sleep again so soon. Gong Zhuanzi comforted himself for a while. It had only slept for so many years. How could it fall asleep right after going out? At this time, it should be full of energy. As for the cat, it was indeed full of energy, but its memory was not very good. At this moment, the cat didn't remember going back at all. There were too many things to do. It had to watch, wait for the dog, and wait for that person to pay it. It was very busy. How could it remember to return to the grotto heaven? Chapter 839. While Gong Zhuanzi was still waiting for the cat to return, Fong Ping was watching Jinan and the others fight with an indifferent expression. Qi Huanyu had killed 4 of the 8 people. The remaining people also began to be killed one after another. However, these people were not weaklings. They knew that they would definitely die this time. At the moment of death, 4 of them self-destructed. One of the god generals under Ji Yao's command was directly blown to pieces by the 2 of them. Less than 3 minutes. There were only 7 humans and 1 demon left. Fong Ping, Ji Yao, Jinan, the 4 elemental path powerhouses, and the Phoenix Sparrow. 5 rank 9s. Before this, there were 53 rank 9 martial artists here. Within a short period of time, 48 rank 9 powerhouses had died. Fong Ping smiled faintly. What a great show. There were more than 100 rank 9s who entered the domain. Almost 50 rank 9s died in the infighting here alone, which was comparable to the total number of rank 9s in Sino Nation. This was the catacombs. The success of a general rests on the bones of 10,000. In order to become a king, Ji Yao and the Ji family wanted to ensure that the 3rd generation of the Ji family would become the next king. They were extremely ruthless. Perhaps in their eyes, all of this was nothing more than a game. Fong Ping was watching the show. After Ji Nin killed the crazy powerhouse who used his fists, she frowned slightly. Suddenly, she looked at Fong Ping and said coldly, "Did you discover the flaw in his Shinto?" He felt that something was amiss. The powerhouse who used his fists had only just entered the Origin Dao. After fighting Fong Ping, he had no intention of retreating and fought him to the death. He was incomparably crazy. Even if he was killed in the end, he would still be in a frenzied state. Fong Ping said indifferently, "So what if I am? So what if it wasn't?" "Jinan, don't look down on me. You don't have the right." Qi Huanyu said that I wasn't qualified to cooperate with him. But the old tortoise had lived for a long time, so I didn't argue with him. He did have the strength to look down on me. "You are not qualified." Ji Nan's expression darkened. She said coldly, "Fong Ping, you're too arrogant. You might possess deity Dao realm strength, but you forgot deity Dao realm is also divided into strong and weak." Fong Ping snorted disdainfully and sneered, "Try me. I can't be bothered to waste my energy on you. If you don't believe me, you can try. Let's see who will die in the end. Do you really think I only know how to hit you with my fists? Idiot." Fong Ping's expression was one of savagery and contempt. Yes, Ji Nan was very strong. The experts on the Divine General ranking had walked at least 500 meters on the Origin Dao. So what? An increase of 0.5 times. The basic energy was not weak. After all, he was a member of a true king family. It was equivalent to a vitality of 140,000 calories. After the increase, his vitality strength was 210,000 calories. However, when Jinan made her move, Fong Ping could see that her control of her strength was about 75%. Her destructive power was about 150,000 calories vitality. Being able to break through space meant that he was one of the top-notch ones in the Origin Dao. But that was all. At this moment, the humans of the 7 southern regions had gained the upper hand, except for Qi Huanyu, who was a variable. However, would that variable dare to make a move at this time? Fong Ping had no doubt that once he laid his hands on a human, Zhang Tao would definitely enter the territory to kill him. Although there were a few other god generals here, Fong Ping was not afraid at all. He said indifferently, "Don't act all high and mighty in front of me. If the Ji family wants to cooperate, then you'd better behave. If the Destiny Royal Court wasn't strong enough, they wouldn't be able to think about such nonsense. The humans are one of the strongest, while heaven plants, heaven fate, and the demon folk are the weakest. Everyone knows that heaven fate is the weakest." Fong Ping was really arrogant. The arrogant Ji Nan's expression was gloomy. Ji Yao's expression was also ugly. She said coldly, "Fong Ping, don't forget that I saved you this time." Fong Ping chuckled. "I didn't forget, but it's not like you don't have a purpose. Everyone has a common interest. Do you really think we're on the same side? What a joke. Ji Yao, you have no right to be arrogant in front of me. I don't care if your father or grandfather is a true king powerhouse or not. I don't care. Your father and grandfather don't dare to make a move against me. If they do, King Wu will definitely kill them. If you don't believe me, you can try. Fang Ping was bluffing. He admired old Zhang now. He was incomparably powerful. It should not be difficult for him to suppress a life king. Although he had quarreled with old Zhang previously, Fang Ping felt that he could recognize him as a godfather when he returned. He wanted to find a strong backer. War King could not do. War King could not defeat life kings. It would be a little stressful to fight two normal true kings. This backer was not strong enough. It was better to find old Zhang. Ji Yao snorted softly and said coldly, I'm afraid King Wu is still not King Ancestor's opponent. Fang Ping, don't be arrogant. Fang Ping scorned. What do you know? The strength that Zhang Tao displayed was about the same as Li Jun, slightly weaker than Life King. However, Fang Ping felt that old Zhang was probably not weaker than Heavenly King Suppression. Life King would definitely not be his opponent. He was too lazy to talk about this. Fang Ping glanced at the battlefield less than 30 li away and said, Let's go. Silence them. Some of those fellows ran away. You guys will be in trouble too. The people over there saw the commotion just now. The distance was so close. The powerhouses who were escaping over there had already started to turn and run. They had indeed sensed the situation over here. At this moment, they were all stunned. The fear in their hearts could not be any greater. Sky Plant's royal court and the land of rebirth were collaborating. Even if there were a few Sky Plant's royal court powerhouses in the crowd, they did not dare to come over at this moment. They had no doubt that the Ji family would attack them if they saw them. These people were currently escaping from Li Changsheng and the rest while guarding against Ji Nan and the rest. For a moment, they felt that there was no way out. However, Ji Nan's expression was gloomy. She said slowly, It's not appropriate for us to attack in front of them. Also, you martial artists from the land of rebirth. Some of them are connected to Divine Land. Fang Ping, once this matter is exposed, the land of rebirth will only face the full attack of the Destiny Royal Court. Ji Yao said coldly, Fang Ping, some people from the land of rebirth should be killed. If the news is leaked, the Ji family will just kill some god generals. It's not a big deal. However, in order to wash away everything, the royal court will only go all out and attack the land of rebirth. Think carefully. Fang Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. He said lightly, Humans are more reliable than you guys. Although he said that, Fang Ping still glanced at the powerhouses from the 5 sacred lands further away. He did not really understand these people. However, if it was leaked, then so be it. Fang Ping did not care about this. Ji Nan and the rest were ruthless, but Life King was not an idiot. If they really attacked the humans with all their strength, the Sky Plant's royal court would be more than happy to watch a show. With the personalities of these true kings, would they go all out and let others take advantage of them? The catacombs were extremely powerful. After so many years, it was still difficult to reach an agreement. The true kings looked at each other. The Sky Plant's royal court was afraid that the Destiny Royal Court would take advantage of them. Similarly, the Destiny Royal Court was the same. The weak true kings did not dare to participate in the battle, afraid that they would die. The powerful true kings were also full of misgivings, afraid that they would be targeted by human powerhouses and take a few with them before they died. If it was not because the seed of rebirth seemed to have a huge attraction for these people, Fang Ping suspected that the catacombs would have lost their fighting spirit long ago. Fang Ping did not care about Ji Yao and Ji Nan's threats. He did not bother to say anything more. He soared into the sky and rushed into the distance. Kill all these people first. As soon as he left, Ji Nan glanced at Ji Yao, her gaze a little strange. Previously, Ji Yao said that she wanted to capture Fang Ping alive. However, not only was it not that, but there was also cooperation. Even Shi Huanyu was here, acting in the dark. Perhaps this was not just Ji Yao's idea. Nurturing a tiger brings disaster. Ji Nan suddenly said, Today, There was originally a chance to kill a large number of resurrected powerhouses. In the end, it turned out to be a large number of divine land powerhouses dying, and it was caused by the Ji family. Jinan still felt that something was wrong. Ji Yao said coldly, "Uncle Wang, we can't kill him. You saw it, King Wu's clone has always been on him. There were even powerhouses who wanted to kill him. His killing intent was too strong, so his clone was awakened. King Wu is already prepared to enter the domain. Once we kill him, we will all die. King Wu no longer cares about the rules. He has already seen through Divine Land. Divine Land does not dare to fight with all its might now. It's all chaos." Ji Yao took a deep breath and said slowly, "There are hundreds of true kings in Divine Land. Do they have the ability to defeat the Land of Rebirth? Yes. However, the four majestic chambers of Divine Land are scheming and deceiving each other. No one trusts anyone else. Actually, from Yao Er's point of view, if the two kings still had their previous strength and prestige, they could walk out of the Land of Kings battleground, unify Divine Land, and join forces with the four majestic chambers to defeat the Land of Rebirth quickly. However, Uncle Wang saw it. This is impossible. Therefore, although Divine Land has the ability to defeat the resurrected martial artists, it is looking forward and backward. Under such circumstances, how can we fight the Land of Rebirth? At this time, the only thing we can do is to strengthen ourselves and let the majestic chambers and Divine Land be unified. When that time comes, the Land of Rebirth will not become a disaster." Ji Yao saw it very clearly now. The catacombs were very powerful. It was not a problem to defeat humans. However, the powerful catacombs were divided into many forces. There was no powerhouse who could stand up and convince the four sides to surrender. How could a divine land like this fight the Land of Rebirth? There were endless internal troubles. Only by solving these internal troubles could they better deal with the Land of Rebirth. At this time, they needed a powerhouse who had great strength and prestige and could suppress everyone to stand up. Life King wanted to be this person. There were many who wanted to. However, the Ji family had high hopes. At least for now, in the catacombs, Life King, the true King Hall Master of the Destiny Royal Court, was one of the most powerful people on the surface. Without King Qian and Lord Demon, Life King was currently the strongest in the entire Divine Land. Once he gained something in the Land of Kings battleground, he would be able to fulfill everyone's expectations and truly unify Divine Land. Jinan did not speak after hearing that. Since things had come to this, it was useless to say anything more. Since Life King and Ji Hong had agreed, what else could he say? He was just unhappy with Fong Ping's attitude. In the past, the resurrected martial artists were afraid that they would provoke the Destiny Royal Court and cause the Destiny Royal Court to join the war. However, after the Destiny Royal Court joined the war, the attitude of the Land of Rebirth toward them took a sharp turn. Not only did they not admit defeat, but they also became tougher. Once the war started, they would kill the Destiny Royal Court's people first. In a short time, the Destiny Royal Court had suffered heavy losses. It had already made the people in the Royal Court anxious. Some of them were questioning their previous decision to join the war. At this moment, after losing a true king, the Ji family began to seek cooperation again. Jinan felt a little upset. In the face of benefits, they could really abandon everything. What Jinan thought, what Ji Yao thought, was not important to Fong Ping. At this moment, Fong Ping had already arrived at the battlefield. When he saw Old Man Li in armor killing everyone, Fong Ping was also envious. He shouted, "Teacher, give me the armor. I'll do it." Old Man Li ignored him. "I'm having a good time killing. Give it to you, Dream On. Cut the crap, kill these guys." While Old Man Li was talking, Li Daong, Jiang Yuanhua, and the rest suddenly joined forces, sneakily attacking together, beheading a rank 9 powerhouse under his sword on the spot. Old Man Li's face was covered by the armor. His expression could not be seen, but he was obviously not too happy. He said angrily, "Also, why are you snatching my armor? It's not like it's gone. I've already used my sword, and you still snatch it?" Everyone did not say anything, focusing on killing. "Is it yours just because you say so?" Are the catacombs powerhouses yours? We must kill them. More than 30 rank 9 powerhouses, killing less than 10 rank 9s. At this moment, it was really a complete suppression. They could fight however they wanted. There were less than 10 catacombs powerhouses left. The monster Sunflower City Lord, who had been alive all this time, suddenly let out a wild laugh as he looked at the enemies on all sides. Everyone, it's the end. The Destiny Royal Court has betrayed us, and the true kings have also abandoned us. Now that things have come to this, there's no way back. After so many obstacles, even if I cultivated to the divine general realm, I still can't escape death today. Let's self-destruct together. Even if we die, we must make them bleed. The monster Sunflower City Lord roared. At this moment, some of the rank 9s who were still alive were the strongest. The fact that they could survive until now was proof of their strength. At this moment, if they self-destructed together, they could also make the land of rebirth suffer a huge loss. He shouted for them to self-destruct together, but Fong Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. What were you shouting for? Did you not know how to use mentality to transmit voice? This fellow was still afraid of death, purposely scaring the humans. If he really wanted to self-destruct, he might as well transmit voice secretly and self-destruct together. Why did he have to shout so loudly? Needless to say, as soon as these words were said, among the catacombs martial artists, there were a few whose auras erupted, showing signs of self-destruction. Seeing this, Fong Ping suddenly roared, "Surrender! You have no way out. Surrender. Other than the monster Sunflower City Lord and that giant eagle, the rest can be spared from death." As soon as these words were said, the few powerhouses who were about to self-destruct stopped breathing. When the monster Sunflower City Lord heard this, his face was filled with horror. He roared, "Don't believe them." Fong Ping did not join the battle at this moment. He levitated and stood aside, smiling. Why not? Zhao Xingwu can surrender to the catacombs. You can also surrender to the humans. Coincidentally, the 7 southern territories have been conquered. There are still tens of millions of catacombs humans alive. We also need an agent. It's the same for the 18 southern territories. These 2 major territories are now the humans' territories. If you surrender, you can be spared from death. Even if you live under someone else's roof and work for the humans, for you, this is the only way out. Is it worth it for you to work so hard for the catacombs, true king? All of you are powerhouses who have cultivated to rank 9 origin. Is it worth it to die after cultivating hard for hundreds of years? Even if you die, your death will not be worth it. After you die, how many people in the catacombs will remember you? Ridiculous. Die, cowards. Why do we humans dare to die? Because even if we die in battle, countless people will remember that we once fought for the humans. How many people know about the catacombs? Fong Ping was still talking when Li Daong quickly transmitted his voice. Fong Ping, this is inappropriate, right? The catacombs martial artists can't be trusted. When the time comes, we still have to prevent them from causing trouble. Fong Ping also transmitted his voice. It's useful. Bring them to the other outer territories. Leave 1 or 2, and kill the rest. There are still 8 rank 9 martial artists here. All of them are origin. Kill 5 or 6 of them. We don't need that many. The main reason is to strike at the confidence of the other territories. Fong Ping did not plan to leave so many powerhouses behind. These people were time bombs. However, leaving 1 or 2 of them and bringing them to other outer territories as examples would be very useful. If even rank 9 could surrender, what about the rest? When Zhao Xingwu entered the catacombs wanted to do the same, but Zhao Xingwu did not agree. The catacombs had other motives, so they did not force it in the end. However, these people did not agree. Fong Ping would not be polite. Monster Sunflower City's governor was even more frightened now. He roared, "If we surrender, the true king will not let us go. Everyone, not only us, our families, our clans will all be slaughtered by the true king." Fong Ping said lazily, "Monster Sunflower City's governor, you must die. Your hands are stained with the blood of humans. You must die. The rest can surrender." Some of them have never fought with humans in their entire lives. This is also their first time here. As for your families, clans, do as you see fit. I'll count to 10. If you don't surrender, I'll kill all of you. If you can, then self-destruct. Let's see if you can bring us along with you. 1. 8. Fong Ping counted from 1 to 8. In the crowd, many people's faces stiffened. You might as well count to 3. The next moment, a middle-aged man suddenly shouted, "I admit defeat." As soon as he said that, Fong Ping was about to speak. Monster Sunflower City's governor and 100 Beast Forest Giant Eagle suddenly gave up on attacking the humans and suddenly attacked him together. One man and one demon, at this moment, were giving it their all. Rumble! With an explosive sound, the middle-aged man's golden body exploded. Monster Sunflower City's governor seemed to have gone mad. He laughed angrily. Surrender? Either we die together, or we continue to kill to the end. You actually want to surrender to the land of rebirth. Dream on? At this stage of the fight, Fong Ping looked like he was going to kill him. He did not have any extravagant hopes. If they were to die, they would die together. The remaining 5 rank 9s were also resisting the humans' killing in a muffled voice. They did not speak anymore. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows slightly. He shouted, "Instructor, kill him. The rest of you, those who want to surrender, attack together and kill this beast. Whoever kills him will be considered to have done a good deed." As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping shouted again, "Separate them. Leave that giant eagle to me. I'll play with it." Fong Ping also had his eyes on the giant eagle. This fellow had attacked Zheng Tao earlier. He had said ruthlessly that he would completely destroy 100 Beast Forest this time. The battle broke out again. Monster Sunflower City's governor was already heavily injured. At this moment, he was surrounded by everyone. Among the other 5 rank 9s, 2 of them chose to betray. No, 1 man and 1 demon. Fong Ping was surprised. That gopher and that Monster Rat City's governor, these 2 fellows actually did not die. The gopher was still fine. It was an Origin Dao powerhouse. Previously, Fong Ping thought that all 8 of them were Origin Dao. Only now did he realize that Monster Rat City's governor was actually still alive. This fellow was not Origin Dao. These 2 were also the first powerhouses to escape after fighting with Guoshenquan. Undeniably, this person who was afraid of death really lived a little longer. This man and demon were both extremely afraid of death. Seeing that they could not survive, they turned around and began to attack Monster Sunflower City's governor. As for Fong Ping, he also faced the giant eagle alone. Li Daong and the rest supported him. At this stage of the battle, humans had already won a great victory. At this moment, it was time to leave some powerhouses for the others to practice. It was quite rare to meet such a powerhouse who gave you a chance to practice. Many people were itching to try it out. 5 minutes later, the battle here ended. 8 powerhouses. In the end, only 3 survived. 2 catacombs humans and a giant rat. The others were all dead. Seeing this scene, everyone was wild with joy. However, very soon, everyone remembered that there was still a battle that had not ended. Li Daong quickly arranged, "Leave a few people to guard these severely injured people. The rest go help Old Chin and the rest. A few more people go. Clean up the battlefield along the way and collect the human corpses." At this stage of the battle, this side was considered to have come to an end. However, humans were not unscathed. When the battle first broke out, there were also casualties among humans. Kong Lingyuan died in battle. Both Wang Qinghai and Zheng Tao fell at the beginning of the battle. No one knew if they were dead or alive. Along the way, Tianmu was also affected by someone's self-explosion and fell to the ground. No one knew what happened. Nan Yunping, who joined the battle later, had the weakest ability. She also fell earlier and was nowhere to be found. The Origins realm was still fine. This time, the weaker rank 9 almost all suffered heavy injuries. On the Jiao side, out of so many demons that came with it, dozens of rank 7s and 8s died in battle. 1 rank 9 demon was missing. No one knew where it fell. The humans were still fine, but the demons, if they fell next to the cat, they might be made into skewers even if they were alive. This battle, the early stages were tough. The later stages were smooth. There were not too many losses. Fong Ping did not follow to clean up the battlefield. He was also not in a hurry to save Chen Yaozu and the rest. Before they left, Fong Ping quickly sent a voice transmission to Li Daong. Arrange some people to go after Ji Yao and the rest. Just say it's an act. Don't take it seriously. If you can kill other origins, kill them. Jinan and Ji Yao can live. Fong Ping felt that he needed to kill Ji Yao and the rest. It was not good to have too many people alive. It was enough to kill a few and keep a few alive. The Ji family's strength should be weakened as much as possible. If the Ji family really unified the entire Destiny Royal Court, it would be a big problem. Having said that, Fong Ping said hurriedly, "Instructor, let's go kill that Shi Huan Yu. This guy is very arrogant. If we can kill him, then kill him. If we can't, or if we kill him and suffer heavy losses, then let him go." After arranging for a while, Fong Ping did not go after Ji Yao and the rest. Instead, he flew toward the Devil's City with everyone else. Chen Yaozu and the rest had been dealt with. The battle between non-peak powerhouses was considered to have come to an end. At the same time, outside the catacombs, Zhang Tao was still satisfied. This time he was not forced to make a move. This was considered to be the most beneficial outcome for him. Zhang Tao, who had been sitting cross-legged, took a deep breath and got up slowly. The rank 9 battle was a great victory. It was almost time for him to make a move. After this battle, the catacombs would either completely unite against humans or give up on the idea of waging an all-out war with humans. They would shrink their front lines and give humans more breathing space. Depends on luck. Zhang Tao murmured. He could only depend on luck. This time, whether humans would have an easy or difficult time in the next 2 years depended on the outcome this time. The next moment, Zhang Tao stepped into the passageway. The passageway trembled. At the same time, Mount Royal Sea, the blockade set up by War King, and the rest was broken in an instant. King Wu had entered the domain. At this moment, War King and the rest no longer sealed off Mount Royal Sea, allowing the true kings to spy. If King Wu entered the domain and still concealed, then it would completely break all the rules. King Wu is here. Where are the other true kings? Come quickly. We haven't made a move yet. What is King Wu trying to do by entering the domain? Kill King Wu and Hades King. These two people are incessant. They should have died a long time ago. One by one, the true king's mentality fluctuated. King Wu entering the domain now meant that a storm was brewing. As for the divine general's battlefield inside the 7 southern territories, not many people paid attention to it at this moment. They were all observing the passageway in Hope City. The passageway trembled. A top-notch powerhouse had passed through the passageway. The true kings were discussing. The next moment, Zhang Tao appeared in the 7 southern territories, his aura surging and mighty. The entire sky of the 7 southern territories seemed to darken. Only a figure outside the passageway shook heaven and earth. At his feet, the head of a big cat appeared. It looked up at Zhang Tao with an adorable expression. As if it had seen something, the big cat stopped eating and said in a daze, "Emperor." An emperor had appeared in the human world? No, it wasn't. It wasn't an emperor. The destruction of humanity, the destruction of the great path. Meow. So savage. I'll die. The big cat shook its head and quickly fled. There was a guy who wanted to become an emperor. He wanted to open the way and gather all the paths of humanity into one. The destruction of all lives and the destruction of the great path. This was a ruthless person. It felt that it was safer to run far away. No wonder it always felt that this guy was a little too strong. Chapter 840. In the 7 southern regions, under the passage to Hope City, Zhang Tao stood proudly in the void, looking around and tilting his head to the west. He chuckled, his voice echoing for thousands of miles. The bounded domain trembled slightly and then completely sealed itself. In the grotto heaven of the bounded domain, Gong Juanzi's expression changed drastically. His figure trembled. Who? The strongest person in the human world. There is such a strong person rising in the human world. Unbelievable, unbelievable. At this moment, Gong Juanzi was no longer arrogant. A monster had appeared in the human world, in the direction of the demon city. Qi Huanyu's face was pale. He had lost his previous arrogance. He was not afraid of ordinary true monarchs. But Zhang Tao, no, he wasn't this strong in the past. At this moment, Qi Huanyu's forehead was drenched in cold sweat. King Wu was getting stronger, the enemy of the divine continent. At the same time, the Jiao tucked its tail. Art, the Jiao was terrified. It had sensed Zhang Tao entering the territory once, but that day, it was being chased by King Huai and did not pay much attention. But today, it was too close to Zhang Tao, less than 50 miles away. As a demon, it was very sensitive to danger. At this moment, the Jiao was truly terrified. It felt like it could die at any moment. The Jiao slowly fell to the ground, its body shrinking. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I'm with you. I'm so scared. If the Jiao was like that, the other demons, regardless of their grade, all fell to the ground. A 7th grade demon even fell directly to the ground, causing the earth to rumble. The 7 southern regions were silent. The strongest person had entered the territory. In the direction of Imperial Sea Mountain, King Feng, King Baishan, and King Hua stepped forward at the same time. The void trembled, and an overwhelming aura shattered the void above their heads. King Wu, since you're here, why don't you gather here? King Feng's expression was cold, and his words were like knives, causing the void to tremble again. Are you in such a hurry to die? Laughter reverberated in the air. In the blink of an eye, a figure strode through the air. Behind him, the black cracks would disappear and reappear. Fengji, do you think you're so great just because you walked out of 2 wasted paths? Zhang Tao stepped on the void and walked past Imperial Sea Mountain. Inside Imperial Sea Mountain, thousands of demons were silent. Dense spatial cracks appeared in the sky, but they took a detour, not daring to invade. Jihong's face was solemn as he slowly took a step back. The Tiger King, who had just arrived, also had a gloomy expression as he transmitted his voice. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with the Martial King today. The Martial King of the past was not this powerful. Tiger King was frightened, and 100 Mountain King also quickly transmitted his voice. He hid his strength. This person's strength is formidable, and he has always been in seclusion. Today, he revealed it without a doubt. Why? Everyone be careful. A Martial King might be stronger than a Battle King. Where is the Fate King? Is King Qin coming? These monarchs all wore solemn expressions at this moment. 100 Mountain King, Maple King, Hua King, Bamboo King, Green Wolf King, Purple Radish King, Tiger King, Huai King, Pine King, Yang King, Earth Sunflower King, Jihong. At this moment, there were a total of 12 true kings gathered here. King Ping Shan had left. Otherwise, there would be as many as 13. On the other side, there were only 4 people. However, everyone's expression remained grave. 12 people against 4 people from before. However, today's martial kings seemed to be even stronger. The various kings transmitted their voices to one another. After that, their auras erupted forth with incomparable sharpness. The sky seemed to have darkened. At this moment, phantoms that pierced through heaven and earth appeared above everyone. The true kings had descended, and the heavens submitted to them. In the distance, countless people in the cities knelt on the ground. More than 10 true kings released their auras, shaking heaven and earth. In the blink of an eye, a few more phantoms rose from all directions. The true kings were quickly rushing over. The auras of King Feng and the others exploded, shattering the void. That meant that there was a great enemy. Experts from the 2 royal halls tore through the air and arrived. On the other side, Zhang Tao was full of smiles. He nodded slightly at the Battle King and Sword King and said with a chuckle, "After watching a big show, my hands are a little itchy. These fleas in the catacombs are annoying to jump around." The Battle King glanced at him, and his brows twitched slightly. This This kid's aura is very strong today. After pretending to be weak for so many years, he's not going to pretend today? No. The Battle King suddenly frowned. This grandson has been pretending for so many years. Could it be that the aura he released now is not at its peak? He's just stronger, so he's showing more? It can't be. He broke through less than 20 years ago. How can he be so strong? While he was still thinking, Zhang Tao looked at the opposite side and said with a faint smile, "Not enough. Not enough. Let's kill a few true kings today to liven things up." Zhang Tao, do you really think you're the subduing heavenly king? Even if you've walked the second great Tao, so what? King Feng shouted coldly, his face full of ice. The martial king was too arrogant. Noisy. You talk too much nonsense. A cold snort sounded in everyone's ears. In the blink of an eye, a phantom shattered the void and suddenly appeared in front of King Feng. Boom! A soundless explosion. There seemed to be the sound of thunder, but it was silent. A large area of space collapsed, and the giant stone platform where the true kings of the catacombs stood proudly disappeared without a trace. All the true kings stepped into the air. In front of the crowd, King Feng took a step back, and a huge black crack appeared under his feet. The phantom in front of him disappeared in a flash. In the next moment, Zhang Tao returned to his original position and stood beside the Battle King and the others. He said with a faint smile, "How sad, how lamentable. Two great Daos like you. Ridiculous and ignorant." Zhang Tao smiled and shook his head, sighing. Two great Daos. Dual Dao true king? Is one great Dao not enough for trash like you? King Feng's expression was cold, and he said nothing. Under his feet, a drop of golden blood dripped and disappeared instantly. King Baishan, King Hua, and the others looked serious. With one blow, King Feng was at a disadvantage. Everyone was shocked. They were shocked that King Feng had really walked the second great Dao. They were shocked that King Feng, a dual Dao true king, suffered a great loss. Silence. None of the true kings made a move. Not enough. 12 people were not enough. King Feng could not stop King Feng. King Baishan might not be able to stop Battle King. And King Hua might not be a match for the Netherworld King. There was still Sword King on the other side. Once the battle started, 12 people might not be able to take them down, and they might not have the upper hand. Disbelief. The powerhouses of the Land of Rebirth and the veteran powerhouses were fine, but the newly promoted powerhouses, King Feng and the Netherworld King, seemed to be getting stronger. Zhang Tao sighed, then looked around, smiling. Gathered outside Mount Royal Sea, but afraid to make a move. 12 true kings, silent like cicadas in winter. This is the catacombs. Even more ridiculous. Today, the humans have achieved a great victory, killing hundreds of rank 9s. Considering that you have contributed by delivering your heads to us, retreat quickly, and we will spare your lives. As soon as he said that, all the true kings' expressions turned cold. Insult. The ultimate insult. The cold gleam in King Feng's eyes was like a sword, piercing through the void. King Baishan, King Hua, and the others looked grim too. Although they did not look at each other, they could not tolerate it at this moment. The true King Rebirth had gone too far. Attack! A loud roar shattered the void. At this moment, even Jihong had attacked. 12 true kings attacked at the same time, and the space in front of them collapsed. In the next second, including Zhang Tao and the other 16 powerhouses entered the Black Rift to fight. When 16 people entered the rift, it expanded instantly, as if a new world had opened up. Everyone had entered another space to fight. In the blink of an eye. It really was just the blink of an eye. King Huai flew out of the rift suddenly, his golden body cracked. A sword gleam erupted from his body, piercing through the sky. Within a radius of 10 miles, except for Mount Imperial Sea that stood tall, the other places turned into black holes. The ground disappeared. Netherworld King. King Huai's face was livid. 12 true kings attacked, and he was the first to be defeated by the Netherworld King. His golden body cracked, and a sky-piercing sword slashed through his indestructible golden body. Trash! Get lost! A cold roar came from the black space. The next moment, Zhang Tao suddenly shouted, "Today, we will kill these trash, break the catacombs, and fight for eternal peace." Kill! The four powerhouses' murderous intent shook the heavens. 11 true kings, including a few invincible powerhouses, were beaten back again and again. The Black Rift pushed forward along Mount Imperial Sea, annihilating everything in its path. The sky had long turned pitch black. Within a radius of 10,000 miles, there was only night at this moment. The sun could not be seen. In the Black Rift, Zhang Tao held a book in his left hand and a green bamboo trunk in his right. He chanted, and in the blink of an eye, the bamboo branch broke through the air and whipped King 100 Mountain. King 100 Mountain was surrounded by mountains. Unlike King Pingshan's mountain, King 100 Mountain's mountain was truly surrounded by hundreds of mountains. But in the blink of an eye, a mountain that seemed to reach into the sky was smashed by the bamboo branch, as if it was real. At this moment, a mountain collapsed, and a large number of boulders and rubble splashed out, flying in all directions. Rubble! The Black Rift became larger and larger, and everywhere it went, everything was destroyed. Outside the black space, King Huai was unwilling to give up and rushed into the Black Rift again. How could 12 true kings lose to the 4 human powerhouses? Outside Mount Imperial Sea, the top powerhouses broke through the space and entered another world to fight. But their auras still spread out, intimidating the world. At this moment, the 7 southern regions was like a dead zone. All the demons were trembling, lying on the ground, motionless. The pressure of too many powerhouses made everyone's hearts tremble. This was the peak. This was a true king. A true king had suppressed a region. There were 16 of them, and there were many powerhouses among the true kings participating in the battle. This was also the most shocking battle since the beginning of the new martial era. 90 years ago, when the new martial era began, a battle of dozens of true kings broke out among the 13 true kings of Suppressing City. 90 years later, the leader of the new martial era started a new battle. There were not many human powerhouses participating, but the momentum was even greater. Just when everyone was silent, the next moment, a piercing scream was heard. No! This roar spread throughout the world. The outer area, the inner area, Mount Imperial Sea, the Forbidden Sea, the entire cave seemed to have heard it. In the void, a shocking figure suddenly disappeared. A large amount of golden light bloomed, and the world was reflected in blood and gold. Black blood and gold alternated. The true king was destroyed. Earth's Sunflower King. Some powerhouses roared, unwilling, shocked, incredulous, and unable to believe it. In less than a minute, 12 true kings had joined forces, but a true king had fallen. A true king's golden body was destroyed by a casual attack from Zhang Tao. Li Jun, who had followed, ignored King Hua's attack and destroyed everything with a single sword strike. A true king had fallen. Li Jun was injured, and his golden blood splattered in the darkness, illuminating the cracks in the darkness. A smile appeared on his cold face. Killing a true king with one sword strike. The Netherworld King has stepped on 2 paths. Damn it! Another roar resounded through the clouds, and the world changed color. The Netherworld King had stepped on the second path. The legend of the true king's immortality became a joke in the blink of an eye. 12 true kings had joined forces, but one was killed in an instant. Come quickly! King Feng and King 100 Mountains roared. There were more true kings nearby. Come quickly to help and eliminate the enemy. In the land of rebirth, there was a second powerhouse who had stepped on 2 paths. Moreover, the strength of a martial king was so terrifying that it made people despair. One strike broke the true king's golden body. It was unbelievable. Even if the Earth's Sunflower King's strength was average, he was still a true king powerhouse. He could block the cracks in space, and his golden body was indestructible. He was invincible. And now, he was killed in an instant. At this moment, These true kings did not dare to hold back anymore. They did not dare to wait for others to help. They worked together. Only by working together could they survive this battle. The martial king had entered the domain to kill a true king. 7 Southern Territory. That blood-curdling scream scared everyone, including the Jiao and the other demons. The crippled earth mole actually peed in his pants. The rank 9 demon beast was trembling in fear. Its squeaking had just left its mouth when it was forcefully suppressed. Terrifying, the Jiao moved its huge head. Its limbs were weak. It forced itself to crawl to Fong Ping's side. It wanted comfort. Chef asked Chef to protect it. It was also scared to the point of peeing. The true king powerhouse was killed. After the Earth's Sunflower King was killed, a powerful wave of energy swept across the land. A true king's vitality force might not be too strong. The powerhouses were not more than 1,000,000 cow. However, at this moment, it was as if the Tao had collapsed. A large amount of energy overflowed from heaven and earth. Even in the 7 Southern Territory, separated by Mount Royal Sea, Fong Ping felt the energy was more abundant. Thousands of miles away, darkness and light alternated. Fong Ping was also extremely shocked. Absolute peak. This was the absolute peak of a life-and-death battle. In this battle, people thousands of miles away could feel the pressure and the threat of death. Compared to this, the battle in the 7 Southern Territory was not even worth mentioning. Beside his feet, the Jiao knocked its huge head against Fong Ping's leg. Scared, asking for comfort. The demons were more sensitive to this. They were really scared. Was that Chef's ancestor? It seemed so. So strong that it made the demons despair. Absolute peak. Fong Ping murmured. At this moment, he suddenly felt an indescribable yearning and anticipation. This was humanity's stabilizing force. The 4 powerhouses attacked and took the initiative to fight many true kings. In a flash, they killed the catacombs' true king. The rank 9 demons were like children, living in fear. At this moment, Qi Huanyu, who had also landed not far away, suddenly felt that he was nothing. Invincible rank 9? The absolute peak was also rank 9, who dared to call themselves invincible rank 9. Even a true king could fall. What was Qi Huanyu? Fong Ping was still deep in thought when a hole silently opened up beside him. A furry paw touched the Jiao's head. The Jiao did not feel comforted at this moment. Only infinite fear. Scared the hell out of the demon. Scared the hell out of the demon. What's wrong? What's wrong today? I won the battle in the 7 Southern Territory and am about to become the only demon king in the 7 Southern Territory. Why does my heart feel like it's going to explode now? What is touching its head? The Jiao was so scared that it trembled all over. The golden glow on its body dimmed. Why? Who touched me? It did not dare to look up. Without any warning, that furry paw appeared out of nowhere and touched it. It was so scared that it almost suffocated. The Jiao seemed to be scared to death. Fong Ping also felt that something was wrong. He turned his head and looked, his face blank. What was that cat doing? The old cat touched the Jiao's huge head and lifted its ears to take a look. Then it lightly tapped its golden horn. It looked like it wanted to pry open its mouth and look at its teeth. What was the cat doing? Most importantly, the Jiao was about to pee in its pants. It should have at least greeted it. The old cat petted the Jiao for a while, then looked at Fong Ping. It stared at him for a while, then a skewer appeared in its hand. It looked at the gopher not far away and said with some disdain, "Ew, this big rat needs to be washed before you can roast it. Help me wash it." Before Fong Ping could say anything, the old cat suddenly looked disgusted. It mumbled, "Forget it. I'm not eating it anymore. It's pooping." A rank 9 demon beast would have long passed this stage. But at this moment, the gopher not far away really pooped. Scared, Yu Haishan's fright wasn't enough. When he felt someone's gaze on him, he glanced over from the corner of his eyes. This time, he really peed his pants. A cat that seemed to want to eat it. That was not the point. The point was that the gopher sensed a danger that was many times more dangerous than Yu Haishan. At least Yu Haishan was not targeting it, but there was a cat watching it. Fong Ping took a deep breath. He did not expect the old cat to appear at this time. Seeing the cat's head, Fong Ping swallowed and said softly, "Senior cat." The old cat looked at him and suddenly said with a serious face, "You're going to die." Fong Ping. Fong Ping's expression darkened, but he did not dare to. He was not familiar with this cat. The old cat's serious face disappeared in the blink of an eye. It muttered indifferently, "I'm not telling you." Fong Ping's expression darkened again. "Did you say you were playing with it? Forget it. I'll tell you. Your mentality is so messed up. You self-destructed too much, and it's going to disperse. Once it does, you'll die." Fong Ping's eyes moved, and his expression became serious. Was it for real? Fong Ping was all smiles and said softly, "Senior." "I won't call you senior." "Master Cat?" Fong Ping continued to smile. Seeing that the cat did not seem to care about how to address him, he immediately tried to get closer. "Brother Cat?" The cat glanced at him and rested its big head on the Jiao's back, as if it did not want to talk to him. Its gaze was cast in the direction of Imperial Sea Mountain. Its mouth opened and closed as it continued to eat. It said vaguely, "There are so many people. The true gods are fighting again." Fong Ping was itching to ask about mentality, but seeing that the cat did not seem too interested, he could only say, "Brother Cat, can you see the battle?" "Sure." "Then we humans are now Human Emperor." "No, the fake Human Emperor is bad. He's pretending to be weak." The cat opened and closed its mouth, crunching crisply. The Jiao might have fainted from the shock, but it did not move at all, acting as the table for the cat. The cat took a bite of a meat skewer from an unknown beast and continued, "Do you want to go? Give me 10 bags of cat food, and I'll throw you in." Fong Ping's expression stiffened. "Stop joking. Me? Do I have a death wish?" More than 10 paragons fought until the heavens and the earth changed color. A true king fell. "I'll probably be killed if I go there. Am I crazy? And this cat, why does it want cat food? Don't tell me it's a rank 9 beast?" Fong Ping glanced at it from the corner of his eye. Its big head was furry, and he wanted to touch it. Forget it, he did not dare to. This cat was a paragon that had lived for who knew how many thousands of years. It was not worth it to be beaten to death by the cat just because he touched it. The cat saw that he did not utter a word and ignored him. It looked at Zhang Weiyu and the rest in the distance, and then at Qi Huanyu. After looking at it, the cat grew bored and said, "That fake Human Emperor seems to want them to become true gods." Fong Ping's gaze flickered. "Yes, but they seem a little lacking now." As for the fake Human Emperor, Fong Ping remembered it in his heart and did not dare to ask. It was talking about old Zhang, right? What the hell? Old Zhang was a human emperor? Was this cat still living in ancient times? "Give me 20 bags of cat food. I'll throw them and maybe they can become true gods." "Throw them in the true god battlefield?" "Yes." The cat said it matter-of-factly. "They could be thrown in. If a true god had fallen, they could absorb it. Maybe they would succeed. Of course, the probability of death was higher. Even if they were close to true god, there was a 99% chance that they would be turned into pieces." Fong Ping continued to be silent, not daring to make a sound. There was no one here who could suppress this cat. He could not simply answer. If he really threw the vice-chancellor and the rest in, Fong Ping suspected that they would come back in pieces. "More people are coming." The cat was idle anyway. He looked at Fong Ping and said, "Do you have any ambrosia? It's dry and a little greasy." Fong Ping was a little dazed. "Were you watching a show?" However, this cat could see the situation on the battlefield, but he could not. At this moment, he was still hoping for it to say more. After thinking for a while, a small bottle of life essence appeared in his hand. This was also a little left from last time. The cat glanced at it. Cat Paw took it and drank it. After taking a big gulp, he continued, "A lot of true gods are coming." That swordsman was beaten up. Yes, he was beaten up very badly. Meow, so bloody. It's not a good fight, and they're going to kill someone again. As the cat spoke, an earth-shattering roar resounded once more. Purple Radish King. "Damn it, Zhongtao, damn you." Heaven and earth changed color again. In the void, among the countless giant projections, another one was obliterated. A female true king, Purple Radish King, had fallen. In a short time, the second true king, had died in battle. At this moment, the entire 7 southern regions had turned blood red. Fong Ping frowned. Strange phenomenon. How could the fall of a true king have such a big impact? The cat was also a little uncomfortable. It scratched its head and mumbled, "Blocked the sun. So annoying." She was beaten to death. She made way for others to walk. Heaven and earth told you that you can walk this path now. As the cat spoke, it raised its big head and looked at the sky, mumbling, "That guy is so disgusting. He made it so red that it doesn't look good." "That guy?" Fong Ping's eyes moved. He asked hurriedly, "Who? It's that guy." "Forget it. You don't know him." "I forgot his name too. Let's not care about him." The cat was short-lived. In the blink of an eye, it stopped talking about this and continued to watch the show. Once he woke up, it would be a good show to watch. It was not bad. If he had known earlier, he would not have slept and gone to watch the show. It was a pity that he had missed a few more interesting shows than this. Meow. Not good. 2 titled true gods are here. Another one. Why are there so many? The cat's big eyes were wide open. Where did so many titled true gods come from? Did Gong Zhuanzi not say that there were not many titled true gods now? But now, there were a few. It was over. The pseudo-human emperor was going to be beaten to death. There was no more cat food. Chapter 841. Outside Mount Royal Sea. Zhang Tao's laughter shook heaven and earth. "Fate King, Thousand Goblin King, since you are here, why don't you show yourselves?" In the void, outside the black crack, Fate King's figure suddenly appeared. In the blink of an eye, another old figure appeared. The Lord of the 10,000 Demon Royal Court had arrived. He could not tell what his true form was like. He was just an ordinary old man. The Demon Lord of the 10,000 Demon Royal Court, ranked 5th on the absolute combat power ranking, after King Tianming and before King Qian. As soon as the old man appeared, the Life Kings, who weren't far away, looked at him with a solemn expression. Thousand Goblin King. Demon Lord. The monster race had 2 monster lords, the Guardian of the King's Court and the 10,000 Monster King's Court. The Master of the 10,000 Demon Royal Court, known as the 10,000 Demon King, ranked 5th. Lord of the Guardian Imperial Court, Heavenly Demon King, ranked 7th. At this moment, the Heavenly Goblin King had yet to arrive, but the 1,000 Goblin King had arrived. As soon as the old man appeared, he looked at Zhang Tao with a profound look in his eyes and said indifferently, "Humans shouldn't have destroyed the Forbidden Land." The Life King had only just touched the million-cow vitality boundary. Strictly speaking, he might not have reached the level of a titled true god, but it was a titled true god that had already been nailed to the ground. The old man's voice was indifferent, but it made King Feng and the others overjoyed. Humanity was finished. The 10,000 Demon Imperial Court, the Lord of 10,000 Demons, who had once fought against Tianji and Tianming, was unbelievably powerful. Today, the resurrected warriors of the 7 southern regions had destroyed the Forbidden Land and actually lured this person out. Zhang Tao laughed calmly and insolently. So what? Zhang Tao burst into laughter. The crystal book in his hand suddenly emitted a dazzling light. Dozens of words appeared in the book. Kill, destroy, attack, one by one. The words that had been condensed by the other Apex experts appeared. At this moment, the words carried with them a shocking, killing intent. Thousand Goblin King, if you dare to interfere, I will exterminate your goblin clan. Zhang Tao laughed out loud. His voice was vast and boundless, causing the void within 10,000 li to tremble. Try interfering. The old man's expression was cold as he said indifferently, "Martial King, could it be that you think you can fight this king? You talk too much." Zhang Tao suddenly broke through space and charged out. Li Jun cursed, "You mother asterisk cur." Cursing, he stopped. This bastard, crazy. He wanted to kill Zhang Tao, this bastard, right now. There were already 17 true monarchs here. 2 of them had been killed, but there were still 15 left. The strongest Zhang Tao had run away. He ran crazily to fight Thousand Goblin King. Li Jun was going crazy. The fact that the Thousand Goblin King did not participate in the battle meant that he was still hesitating. He might not want to interfere. If Elder Zhang talked nicely, with his ability to fool others, the Thousand Goblin King would probably leave. But now? Bastard. Right now, Li Jun was facing off against King Feng and King 100 Mountains on his own. Even though he had taken out his second great Dao, he was still being beaten to the point where his golden body was trembling and the void was exploding. The others were even worse off. The War King was now being besieged by 3 true monarchs, and he was being beaten back again and again. As for Zhang Tao's opponents, King Hua, King Song, and the others, they were all rushing towards them. No one was chasing after Zhang Tao, since that guy is crazy enough to challenge the Thousand Goblin King. Let him be. Not far away, the Thousand Goblin King was also stunned. King Wu really came. Old worm, you dared to participate in the battle in the demon race, Forbidden Land, and after the battle, you still dare to question us. Today, I will kill you to scare the demons. At this moment, Zhang Tao's body suddenly expanded countless times, and he was almost 10,000 meters tall. The bamboo branch expanded, and with one attack, it broke through the void, destroying everything, and headed towards the Thousand Goblin King. Not far away, just as the Life King was about to attack, a shadow appeared. Why bother? An old voice came, and no one knew whether it was the Life King or Zhang Tao. Heaven-suppressing King. The Life King's expression was solemn, and he said coldly, "You are the land of rebirth. Do you really want to die now?" Sigh. A sigh was heard. The heaven-suppressing King did not speak, nor did he attack. However, the Life King also did not move and did not attack. At the side, Zhang Tao had already attacked, and the sky changed color. The Thousand Goblin King looked extremely old, as if he could be blown away by the wind, but now his arms suddenly turned into giant claws, and with a roar, he clawed the void in front of him. Boom! The giant claws and the bamboo branch collided, and the overflowing energy shook Imperial Sea Mountain. A few hundred miles away, a giant city was swept by the energy, and in the blink of an eye, the entire city was destroyed. This was a capital city. Although it was not comparable to a king city, it was still a big city with millions of people. At this moment, a few hundred miles away, the city was still there, but all lives were gone. No matter what grade they were all dead. Not bad. The Thousand Goblin King laughed coldly. Not bad indeed. The strength of the Martial King was shocking. He was probably at the level of the Life King, but he was still lacking if he wanted to fight with the Thousand Goblin King. The Thousand Goblin King did not return to his original form, but his arms turned into claws and tore through space. He suddenly appeared in front of Zhang Tao and instantly slashed toward Zhang Tao's head. Zhang Tao laughed coldly, and the book in his hand turned into a giant wall, and the bamboo branch suddenly flew towards the Life King, courting death. The Life King was stunned, but he was also furious. The Martial King actually wanted to fight 1 against 2. He and the Thousand Goblin King were 2 of the 4 strongest true kings in God Continent. At this moment, the Life King could not be bothered with the heaven-suppressing king anymore. The Martial King was provoking him, and if he did not attack, how could he face others in the future? Rumble, in the blink of an eye, the 3 experts tore through space, entered it, and started fighting. At this moment, Zhang Tao was no match for the 2. The book cracked, but he laughed loudly. Fight. Fight to your heart's content. Even if I die today, I will let you know that humans are never afraid of battle. Kill. Zhang Tao's roar shook the sky, and in the blink of an eye, several figures appeared in the distance. A few elders flew over, and one of them laughed loudly. Let's fight. The Martial King is indeed the pride of the human race. He deserves the title of the Martial King. Fight! Fight! The top experts instantly entered the black space where the War King and the rest were, and in the blink of an eye, they fought with all their might. In the void, many giant figures floated in the air. The experts were too strong, and their power was projected, turning into human forms. Outside the two spaces, the heaven-suppressing king still did not move. He looked at the direction where Zhang Tao was and suddenly sighed. Want to break the situation? But some things should not be broken at this moment. Ancestor. In another space, Li Jun was fighting a bloody battle. His eyes were filled with anger, and he shouted, Ancestor, why are you watching? Since we are fighting today, so what if we turn the world upside down? The heaven-suppressing king seemed a little helpless, and he sighed again. He grabbed the void with one hand, and in the next moment, the myriad demon king suddenly appeared in front of him. Myriad demon, why bother with the juniors? The human and the demon were less than 100 meters apart. The heaven-suppressing king said softly, Go back. Humans do not want to fight with the demon race. It's just two forbidden lands, so be it. The myriad demon king's expression was ugly, and he said coldly, The demon race is not afraid of battle. The heaven-suppressing king can suppress the human race, but not the demon race. The heaven-suppressing king chuckled. Why do you have to do this? I have waited for 1,000 years. Can I wait for a few years? You must force me to fight. At this moment, the heaven-suppressing king suddenly stood up straight, and his face was no longer illusory. An extremely ordinary middle-aged face appeared, and his eyes were deep. He said softly, If you want to fight, then I will accompany you to exercise. The myriad demon king sneered, and he did not say a word. In the blink of an eye, the human and the demon disappeared. A black crack suddenly appeared and suddenly disappeared. The human and the demon directly sealed the space and entered another space to fight. Not far away, Zhang Tao glanced over, and his face revealed a playful expression. He suddenly looked at Fake King and smiled meaningfully. In the next moment, Zhang Tao suddenly shook off Fake King, tore the space, and appeared next to the Su family's elder ancestor. Fake King also appeared here in an instant, and his palm hit Li Jun. 7 southern regions. The battle was huge. The cat did not speak at this moment, but Fong Ping was impatient. What was going on? At his feet, the Jiao's big eyes opened a slit, and its nose was a little itchy. The big cat's tail was sweeping its nose, and it felt so uncomfortable. It really wanted to bite off this annoying demon's tail, but it did not dare. Just when the Jiao and Fong Ping were impatient, the cat suddenly said, We can't win. Who can't win who? Fong Ping immediately said, Humans can't win them? Yes. The cat wanted to eat skewers, but found that they were all gone. It glanced at the hamster, a little annoyed, and continued, There are so many 1-3. The cat counted and shook its head, saying, There are almost 30. You guys only have 7 or 8? You can't win. Although the top human powerhouses were all here, the catacombs had more and more true kings. If this continued, even if the fake human emperor was very powerful, he would still lose. Fong Ping was talking to the cat when Zhang Weiyu and the others suddenly walked over. Chun Yaozu's face was pale, and his face was full of anxiety and helplessness. They were going to lose. Fong Ping did not notice, but they did. Thousands of miles away, Fong Ping might not recognize the shadows that pierced through the sky, but he did. The elder ancestor's shadows trembled, showing signs of being defeated. Senior cat. Chun Yaozu and the others had actually seen the cat before, but they did not dare to come over. At this moment, they could not bear it anymore. Chun Yaozu bowed deeply and said in a sorrowful tone, We are useless. We can't break through. Now the humans are defeated. Please help us, Senior. Please help us, Senior. Zhang Weiyu and the others looked worried too. Most of Sino Nation's top powerhouses had joined the battle. If they were defeated, the top powerhouses would die in battle. Then it would be useless no matter how many rank 9s they killed. The cat was very innocent, blinking its big eyes, and said, I'm just a cat. Cats don't fight. It was just a cat. It didn't fight. Why did it have to beg this cat? Everyone was deeply helpless. Cats did not fight. A desperate cat was now telling them that it did not fight. It was just watching the show. What else could they do? As they were talking, at this moment, suddenly, an earth-shaking figure was struck out of the void, crashing into Imperial Sea Mountain. Rumble! Even from 2,000 miles away, everyone could hear the deafening roar. This loud noise was too loud. King Marshall! A shrill, angry roar rang out. King Huai, who was struck out again, was burning with rage. Humiliation. Absolute humiliation. He was beaten like a dead dog by King Marshall. A bamboo branch was whipped out, and his golden body exploded, crashing into Imperial Sea Mountain. In extreme anger, King Huai wanted to enter again. However, there was still some fear in his heart. In the next moment, he suddenly thought of something and suddenly looked at the 7 southern regions behind him. King Marshall had drawn himself out. Then, could he not enter the 7 southern regions now? King Huai's eyes were cold and fierce. Just as he was about to step in, his face suddenly stiffened, and then he suddenly rushed into the battle, instantly fighting with King Song's opponent, the Zheng family's old ancestor. He said furiously, "After I kill you, I will enter the 7 southern regions and kill all of you resurrected bugs." As soon as these words came out, it seemed to remind everyone. King Song, whose opponent was snatched by him, suddenly thought of someone. Fong Ping. The Fong Ping who ruined his plans in the 9 southern regions. Did he come here today to fight the true king resurrected? No. He came here to kill Fong Ping. But now he was actually fighting the true king resurrected. Although he already had the upper hand, he did not come here to kill the true king. Moreover, this place was dangerous. The true king resurrected was not afraid of death. Now that 2 true kings had fallen, he was not considered strong, and he could not follow in their footsteps. He glanced at King Huai out of the corner of his eye. Idiot! This idiot actually ran back after being knocked out of the battle twice. It was best if he died here. King Song's eyes were cold as he turned his head to look at Imperial Sea Mountain. The next moment, he suddenly flew out of the black fissure, flying toward Imperial Sea Mountain. How dare you! At this time, Zhang Tao roared, the bamboo branch in his hand breaking through the air. At the same time, his mentality covered thousands of miles, and he quickly said, "Everyone, retreat from the catacombs. Take the Jiao with you. King Song has entered the region." Old Zhang was also surprised. "King Huai, this guy? Was he pretending to be stupid? I sent you flying and told you to kill the Jiao, but you didn't go. You actually ran back, joined the battle, and lured King Song over. More importantly, he did not know if the cat would attack." At this moment, he really wanted Fong Ping and the others to retreat quickly. Danger! At this critical moment, he might not be able to return in time. At this point in the battle, there were more and more catacombs true kings, and he was already somewhat powerless. If not for Life King, this guy who had some ideas, and the other true kings also saw that the battle situation was stable and did not want to fight to the death, humans might have already been defeated. Zhang Tao struck with the bamboo branch, but King Song quickly rushed past Imperial Sea Mountain. He did not care about the bamboo branch behind him at all. He would think about it after entering 7 southern territory. Perhaps he could also take this opportunity to go to the land of rebirth. The true kings have entered the region. Fong Ping's expression changed dramatically. The others also gathered quickly. Zhang Weiyu shouted, "Retreat! Retreat quickly! Minister South is still outside. Everyone retreat!" Everyone began to flee in the opposite direction. The Jiao wanted to get up, wanted to run. It was afraid of death. It was in the same group as Chef now. It wanted to run too. But it had a big cat head on it. It did not dare to run. Roar, roar, the Jiao growled a few times. "I want to go, I want to go." The true kings have entered. The big eyes of the cat showed a hint of conflict, dissatisfaction, unwillingness, displeasure. He was enjoying the show. The true gods have entered? What are they doing? You haven't given me the cat food. The cat felt wrong too. I've stabbed 12 fake gods to death, 70 bags of cat food, and you haven't given me a single bag. Now that these people have left, that fake human emperor is probably going to run too. There's no one here, and you still want to give me cat food? I can't go out. I have to go back to the grotto heaven. Go back to the grotto heaven? At this moment, the cat felt like it had been struck by lightning. Its tail bristled. Back to the grotto heaven? The cat was stunned. I said I forgot something. Forgot something? I'm done for. Gong Juanzi must be closed. I have no home to go back to. Stray cat? At this moment, the cat's big eyes showed confusion. What to do? If I can't go back to the grotto heaven, where can I go? Stay here? But if I stay here, then if the true gods enter and know I'm here, what if they find trouble with me? Meow. The ash cat suddenly cried out in a low voice. This cat had forgotten something important. Damn it, I can't go back. It's all this big dog's fault. The cat suddenly vented its anger on the Jiao. The cat's tail slapped the Jiao like it was struck by lightning, making it dizzy. I won't run. Stop hitting. Big dog, are you going to the human world? The cat suddenly asked. The Jiao did not know if it was asking it, but the chances were high. The Jiao barked hurriedly. You're gone? Aye. The cat was sad. The big dog was gone. Was he going to be a stray here alone? He should at least bring the big dog along. He would have a place to sleep if he brought the big dog along, but the big dog's golden armor was too disgusting, not as comfortable as the Tengu's. The cat was still thinking, but Fong Ping could not care less about the Jiao. Run! The true king had entered. If he did not run, something big would happen. He wanted to run, but the cat hooked him with its tail, saying unhappily, You haven't given me the cat food. Fong Ping was about to cry. You're not going to help. You're asking me to run. What cat food? How would I know what's going on? Brother cat, the true king is here. You haven't given me the cat food. If you leave, what if the fake human emperor runs away? It stared at Fong Ping. This guy seemed to be the leader. It could see that the others seemed to listen to him. He had a clone of the fake human emperor with him before. He must be in cahoots with the fake human emperor. He could not leave. If he left, the cat food might be gone. Master Cat. Fong Ping was about to cry. King Song was here. He had ruined King Song's plan in Tianan's catacombs. Although the god general under him had fought to the death with the Yang family, everyone else was dead except for him. Who else could he look for but him? This was his biggest enemy. If he came in, he would be the first to be killed. In a moment of desperation, Fong Ping suddenly said, Master Cat, I'm not leaving. How about you kill him? Cat food, right? You can have as much as you want. Kill him. I'll give it to you, no, old Zhang. No, I'll give you the emperor. He controls the entire human world. He has everything, countless treasures, anything you want. Having said that, he asked hurriedly, Is Master Cat a match for the true king? He did not know how strong the cat was. If he really did not know how to fight, he could only wait for death. He might as well run now and find Nan Yunyue to protect him. The cat felt like its fur was about to explode. Not a match for a true god? The true god who came in was very weak, okay. The cat's large tail slapped Fong Ping until he was dizzy. Don't go crazy, this cat. I can't even withstand the aftermath of the battle. Even if I'm a match for King Song. Let me go first. Fong Ping could not leave. At this moment, many people had gathered around him. Some of them had fled for a while, but seeing that Fong Ping did not follow, they turned back. Iron Head landed quickly, looking at Fong Ping with an anxious expression. Old Man Li also looked at the cat hurriedly, saying quickly, Senior Cat, let Fong Ping go first. If you have any requests, wait. The cat was not anxious at all. It continued to use the Jiao's body as a pillow, its tail hitting Fong Ping. Half of its body was still soaking in the seawater, as if it was thinking about something. After a while, it suddenly said, I'll stab him to death. I want another 100 bags of cat food. It wanted to say that it could not go back, but on second thought, it could not say it. It would be embarrassing. I want to open a cat palace here. It needs to be near the sea, so I can fish. You guys have to help me build one. I also need to rear rats. Mine rats? I need to rear them fat. The cat suddenly felt like drooling. Not being able to go back seemed like a good thing. It could fish, rear mine rats, grow flowers, and cultivate bejeweled nectar. It could also bask in the sun. The sun in the grotto heaven was not good. It was a good choice. If it had nothing to do, it could go outside the grotto heaven. Why not go in and see Gong Juanzi? As the cat thought about it, it felt sleepy. It said in a daze, The bed in the cat palace can't be hard. No, I have to soak in the seawater. You have to build me a big pool. It was still narrating, but Fong Ping sighed. It was over. This cat had gone mad. The true king was here. Motherf asterisk her. This fellow was not letting him go. Old Zhang was not reliable. What did the cat food that you owe me have anything to do with it? You've wronged me. Teacher, you guys leave quickly. If I hide my aura, he might not notice me. Hurry. As they were talking, the cat woke up and said hurriedly, That's all. That's all. Can you? Fong Ping was helpless. He laughed dryly and said, No problem. It's a small matter. But can you let us leave first? Brother Cat is not afraid of the true king. But if we're involved... Involved? The cat seemed to be thinking about the meaning of this word. After a while, it muttered how. As soon as it finished speaking, the cat turned its head and looked at the sky-shaking figure in the distance. After a while, the cat's tail flicked. After a while, a huge fishing rod appeared in the cat's paws. Fong Ping was stunned. It was a fishing rod. He could see the fish hook. When the fishing rod appeared, the cat swung it a little and said unskillfully, I haven't fished for a long time. I don't really remember how to fish. You're not allowed to look. If you don't catch anything, you're not allowed to laugh. Otherwise, I'll feed you to the big dogs. Having said that, the cat's fishing rod suddenly pierced through the space. The golden fish hook disappeared in the blink of an eye. In the distance, King Song, who was still flying through the air, stopped in his tracks. The next moment, a deafening scream reverberated throughout the 7 Southern Territory. D*M in it. The scream was short and urgent. As Fong Ping and the others stared blankly, the cat stuck its buttocks in the air and pulled the fishing rod, huffing and puffing. I forgot how to fish. This guy is different from the fish. He's so strong. It's a loss. It's a loss. I caught something he can't eat. I'm so tired. Little Sword isn't here. There's no one to pull the fishing rod for me. I'm so tired. The cat sounded aggrieved. It felt like it was not worth it this time. It felt aggrieved. Fong Ping and the others had long been dumbfounded. Not far away, Chi Huanyu looked like he had seen a ghost. At this moment, he broke through the air and fled far away. He saw a ghost. A true king powerhouse screamed. Something hooked his nose, and then he was dragged into the space rift. Then, everything was gone. There was really nothing left. There was no scream, no explosion of force, no shattering of space. The only thing was that the void seemed to be surging. It was like a big fish was struggling in the water, stirring up some residual waves. Scary. There was something wrong with the 7 Southern Territory. Until now, he had not seen the cat. Even though he was 1,000 meters away from Fong Ping, he did not see it. Even though he looked at Fong Ping a few times, he still did not see the cat. Chi Huanyu was so shocked that he was going crazy. What happened? Chi Huanyu ran very fast. Fong Ping and the others were also completely stunned. A cat took out a fishing rod and caught a true king. What was this? A true king powerhouse was the symbol of invincibility. Now he was caught like a fish. The cat was still pulling the fishing rod as if it wanted to pull him out. Could it be that King Song would be caught later? 9 Heavens Divine Emperor. Chapter 842. The void was still surging. The cat stuck out its buttocks and grunted, I'm so tired. You guys help me pull it? Big Cat seemed to be really tired. It was struggling to pull the fishing rod. Fong Ping and the others were already stunned. At this moment, Fong Ping hurriedly said, Lord Cat, that King Pine he still wants to run. The cat turned its head and gave him a look, a little unhappy. It patted Fong Ping's cheek with its tail. Hurry up and help me pull him over. If you do, he won't be able to escape. Although they were confused, they didn't say a word as they stepped forward and began to pull out the fishing rods. As soon as Fong Ping touched the fishing rod, he felt a chill in his hand. The fishing rod looked like a bamboo pole, but it was unknown what it was made of. Fong Ping quickly used the imperishable substance, unleashing a destructive force. However, at this time, no matter how strong the explosion was, it was as if the fishing rod did not move an inch, unaffected at all. It was not just Fong Ping. At this moment, the others present also came forward to help. Zhang Weiyu and the others also rushed back, each of them wearing a solemn expression, not knowing what to do. Old Man Li panted as he helped to drag them. Elder Cat, King Pine has been dragged here. How do we deal with him? From the tone of the cat's voice, it seemed like it wanted to drag the Pine King here from the space. But even if a true king was dragged here, what could he do? The cat looked at him curiously as if it was looking at a fool, and said in a strange tone, I dragged him over. His power was depleted in the space passage. At that time, I can poke him to death. These people are so stupid. When fishing, of course, it was necessary to fish the other party into a spatial crack. That way, he could wear down the other party's strength. Moreover, it was impossible to recover energy inside the spatial crack. If Xiao Chun dragged him to the front of it, that king would become a cultivator with a strong physical body. His physical body would also be damaged, and his strength would decrease by more than 80%. It was stabbed to death in an instant, and these people actually asked it if it was stupid or not. Old Man Li blushed from the cat's stare. He was despised by a cat. Unfortunately, in front of this cat, Old Li did not dare to speak carelessly. This cat looked easy to talk to, but it had hooked a true monarch, so he didn't dare to be presumptuous. Too strong. Who would deal with a true king like this? The War King had almost been beaten to death while trying to kill a true monarch, and it took him a long time to recover from his injuries. But what about this cat? As he spoke, the void in front of Fong Ping and the others began to surge. The cat said happily, I'm going to catch it. You over there, come over here. I'll poke him to death. His essence, chi, and spirit are overflowing. You guys can absorb some of it. The green cat wagged its big tail happily. He hadn't fished for a long time, but his skills were still there. Just like that, he managed to hook the true god. This true god was really dumb. It was easy to hook him, and he didn't even put in much effort. As the cat spoke, a crack appeared in the void, and a figure could be vaguely seen. Who is it? Let this king go. A roar came from the space. It was a little weak and a little frightened. King Song was afraid, terrified. He didn't know what had hooked his nose. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get it off. Even if he broke his golden body, it was useless. The golden hook seemed to have hooked not only his body, but also his spiritual power. Along the way, the spatial cracks continuously eroded his strength and consumed his foundation. By the time he sensed the aura of the outside world, King Pine was already terrified. An unknown expert. Very, very strong. He didn't know who it was. He only knew that he had less than 10% of his strength. If he went out, he might die. He didn't want to die. King Pine was furious. He had just entered the outer region, so why did such a terrifying expert appear? It wasn't just a problem of the expert. What was a golden hook? It could actually confine an invincible true king like him? King Pine was terrified. At this moment, he struggled again. He didn't want to go out. He didn't want to come out. In the outside world, the cat seemed to be used to such a situation. It suddenly picked up the fishing rod and stabbed the void. Poochie! Space rippled like water and was pierced through. The fishing rod that was several meters long suddenly enlarged countless times, turning into an incomparably huge rod. The ash cat grabbed the fishing rod with its claws and hit the pine monarch's head repeatedly. Come out! If you don't come out, you'll die inside. Come out quickly. Pong pong pong. The fishing rod hit King Pine's head until it was about to explode. A true king was actually about to be knocked unconscious. This was also an unbelievable thing. The fishing rod had the effect of intimidating mentality. King Pine felt dizzy, his resistance loosened. In the next moment, a broken figure appeared in front of Fong Ping and the others. Everyone was stunned. A true king, alive, just 3 meters away from them. Like a fish on land, his body twitched a few times, but he could not move. His eyes rolled back. At this moment, the cat was still hitting his head with the fishing rod. There was a big grin on the cat's face, so wide that its tongue was almost sticking out. He caught it. It was smiling. Fong Ping and the others were really stunned to the extreme. They had captured a true king alive. Killing a true king, There were people who could do it. Suppressing Heavenly King, Zhang Tao, Li Zhen, Warlord, these people, they had all done it. They had killed a true king, killed a top monster, and had such achievements. However, capturing a true king alive, no one had done it before. Fong Ping glanced at the big cat's fishing rod. Treasure. A real treasure. He had never seen such a powerful divine weapon. The fishing hook could hook a true king. The fishing rod could hit a true king, knocking the other party unconscious. This was too suitable for him. If he carried the fishing rod, concealed his aura, and secretly hit a true king, would he be able to knock him unconscious? If he could also kill a true king. Fong Ping wanted to gulp, but he dared not show any covetousness. This big cat was too strong. Moreover, it had helped them capture a true king this time. He could be considered a partner, so he could not offend this cat. The cat did not care about this. After hitting King Pine for a while, it looked at Zhang Weiyu and the others, smiling widely. Poke him to death? If you poke him to death, you can absorb his essence, qi, and spirit to fill yourself up. If you don't poke him to death, you can stew him. Oh, right? Do you eat it? This cat won't eat it, it's disgusting. Big Dog used to eat it, it's disgusting too. The cat suddenly felt a little disgusted, its big tail suddenly whipping the jiao. Big Dog was disgusting. It ate true gods. Think about it. The cat only ate skewers, only grilled fish, drank ambrosia, and sometimes to have a sumptuous meal, it only ate some miscellaneous food. Big Dog was different. It ate everything, it was not picky. Woo-woo. The jiao was dizzy from the beating, it wanted to cry. Did I offend you? This cat was too despicable. The jiao was whimpering. Fong Ping and the others were stunned again. Stew a true king? These words made them dizzy. Fong Ping said hurriedly, poke him to death. Right, poke him to death, his Tao of origin. Fong Ping suddenly remembered something. If this fellow died, what about his Tao of origin? This was a true king that was captured alive. When the cat heard this, it looked surprised. It scratched its ears with its claws and asked curiously, why do you want his Tao of origin? His Tao is short and narrow. It's getting longer and longer. It's useless to walk it. You can walk your own Tao. Zhang Weiyu was so excited that he was trembling. He said hurriedly, Senior, can you keep his Tao of origin? Just like how mysterious Jade, true king's Tao of origin, turned into the Tao of origin. Wu Quishan benefited immensely. This was the Tao of origin left behind by a dead true king's descendants. And this was a living true king powerhouse. I can't. The cat shook its head. If I poke him to death, I can keep a bit of my Tao of origin. Even if I leave, I won't surpass him. Do you guys want this? Yes. Everyone said in unison. What a joke. Even if they did not use it, it was not like everyone could reach the top if they let a rank 9 powerhouse walk. Even if it was comparable to King Pine, or even worse, it was still a hopeless situation. At this moment, Fong Ping even wanted to pry into the true king's Tao of origin. But after thinking about it, he gave up. The true king's Tao of origin consumed too much. He did not have much wealth now. Moreover, the current him did not need to look at the path of such a powerful powerhouse. He would be easily affected by the other party's will. The two who walked 100 to 200 meters earlier affected him a little. He would have to wait until he really walked out of his own Tao of origin. So troublesome. The cat was troubled. These people had a lot of demands. In the past, when he fished, he roasted and ate them. If he did not want to eat them, he just had to poke them to death. Now, these people wanted him to strip the Tao of origin. It was really troublesome. Cat food, cat palace. The cat muttered for a while, comforting himself. Forget it, he could not go back. He did not want to work on his own, so he would let these humans work for him. He wanted to live in the cat palace and not be a stray cat. He was different from the big dogs. The big dogs had the world as their home, the ground as their bed, and the sky as their blanket. They could sleep wherever they went. It was not like that. The cat used the fishing rod to hit King Pine with all its might. As it hit and hit, King Pine trembled all over. In the next moment, something like a crystal door floated out from the other party's body. The cat was also unbearably tired. He muttered, "This is it. When he's dead, You guys can take a look. After you're done, it'll be destroyed." As he said that, the cat was afraid that they would ask for more conditions. He immediately said, "I'm going to poke him to death." "Don't talk." Having said that, the cat did not attack King Pine. A strange light flashed in his big eyes. Then, he poked the air with his claws. Poke! With a poke, King Pine's body trembled. With a poke, he trembled. The cat seemed to be quite tired too, panting. After a while, King Pine suddenly let out a muffled groan. In an instant, an extremely powerful energy overflowed from his body. The world changed color again. Rumble! The great Tao collapsed, and the sky turned blood red again. A true monarch died so easily. At this moment, Zhang Weiyu and the others were excited. When the energy of the true monarch's death hit them, everyone felt refreshed. Everything that had been exhausted before seemed to be recovering. Catch a true monarch and kill him. This was the first time in the world that this had happened. At the same time, in the direction of Imperial Sea Mountain, in the Black Rift, dozens of true monarchs were fighting. At this moment, they suddenly stopped. In the next moment, a rift exploded not far away. Heavenly King Jin and Myriad Demon King appeared at the same time. Myriad Demon King looked slightly disheveled, but he was still calm. However, he only calmed down for 3 seconds. He suddenly looked at the 7 southern regions, and his eyes burst out with 2 terrifying lights. Who? He killed King Pine without a sound. Who is it? What's in the 7 southern regions? The master of the bounded domain has come out. No, even if the master comes out, he might not be as good as me. How could this be? Myriad Demon King could not believe it. How is this possible? Even if the master of the bounded domain really came out, he might be able to kill a true monarch, but it would not be so shocking. King Pine had died without a sound. On the side, Heavenly King Jin seemed to be deep in thought. After a while, he frowned slightly. 7 southern regions, Quokang Mountain. Did the ash cat come out? That cat was actually born again. However, this cat had never liked to kill people. It was so lazy that it made people's hair stand on end. Even if you fought on top of its head and did not disturb its sleep, it would be too lazy to care. How could it kill King Pine? The ash cat used that thing. Heavenly King Jun's eyes moved slightly. This cat's birth was not a good thing. The ash cat, heavenly dog, these two were not good things. The heavenly dog seemed to have disappeared. But the ash cat, the world had changed again and again, but it was still the favorite of the heavens. It could not be killed, could not be destroyed, and could turn misfortune into fortune. There were no disasters and no difficulties. No matter how big the battle was, it could not be affected. When in danger, it fell asleep. When it fell asleep, those who were stronger than it were killed by it in one sleep. The masters of this world had changed again and again, but only this cat had lived one life after another. The ash cat came out. Who did it come out for? At this moment, Heavenly King Jun's heart was in turmoil again. Sure enough, was the great era coming? Every time the ash cat came out, it would face great changes. Every time, the people who followed it were the influential figures of that era. 2,000 years ago, the ash cat did not follow Gong Zhuanzi, but unquestionable Jin. 2,000 years later, who was it coming out for? Heavenly King Jin looked at Zhang Tao abruptly. Then, there was a sudden burst of divine light in his eyes, as if penetrating thousands of miles. He saw the interior of the 7 southern regions, saw Fong Ping and the others. Who was it? Who was the target that the ash cat wanted to follow? Heavenly King Jun's heart was in turmoil. Zhang Tao was also a little shocked. How did that cat do it? He did not sense anything, nor did he feel the aura of a great battle. In his senses, it was King Pine who entered the region, then his aura disappeared for a while, and then he died. A true king had fallen just like that. Even Zhang Tao was shocked. He had already observed the ash cat's strength when he entered the region. It was not too strong, at least not as strong as him, and might not even be as strong as Li Jun and the others. But how did this cat kill King Pine? Even Zhang Tao was shocked, let alone the others. King Feng's gaze was frighteningly solemn. He said coldly, "There's a change in the 7 southern regions. Everyone, quickly kill King Wu and the others to prevent further changes in the 7 southern regions. At this moment, they dared not send people to investigate the 7 southern regions. It was eerily quiet there. At this moment, the best choice was still to kill King Wu and the others. When the time came, everyone could enter the 7 southern regions together to investigate. Kills. These true kings were terrified, but they were not stupid. This was also the best time to kill King Wu and the others. At this moment, a total of 10 Sino nations' top powerhouses were gathered here. Heavenly King Zhen, King Wu, Hades, King War, King Sword, and the 5 patriarchs of the Jiang, Shun, Liu, Zheng, and Ming families had all arrived at this moment. 10 human powerhouses, and their opponents were also countless powerhouses. Myriad Demon King, Life King, Maple King, 100 Mountain King, King Hua. These people were all powerful true kings who entered Zhang Tao's combat strength ranking. There were close to 30 true king powerhouses. At this moment, they were also incomparably powerful, forcing the humans to retreat again and again. Even though 3 great monarchs had already perished, at this point, no one was willing to retreat anymore. Life King fought Li Zhen alone. It was a fact that Li Zhen, who had just stepped onto the second Dao, was not as strong as Life King. Even though Li Zhen had taken 2 Dao, his combat strength was only increased by about 1.6 times. However, Li Zhen was also a 9th grade golden body cultivator with a strong foundation. Even though he was not as strong as Life King, he was not completely defeated. Even so, Li Zhen had been injured in order to kill Earth's Sunflower King. Now that he was targeted by Life King, his military uniform was already torn to pieces, and he was almost naked. However, at this point, no one cared about these things anymore. Break! No one cared about what was happening in the 7 southern regions. Inside the space, 9 human powerhouses were surrounded by close to 30 powerhouses. There was no time to think. At this moment, Zhang Tao's combat strength was also unparalleled. At this moment, Zhang Tao was facing 3 supreme powerhouses, Maple King, 100 Mountain King, and King Hua. Even though he was at a disadvantage, he was still fighting, which shocked many true kings. Maple King had not gone too far on the first Dao, and he had just started on the second Dao. But no matter what, Maple King was not weaker than Li Zhen, who had stepped onto the second Dao. But at this moment, the 3 of them still could not gain an absolute advantage against Zhang Tao. The black space expanded endlessly. Apart from a few powerful supreme powerhouses, the other human supreme powerhouses were already injured. Golden blood splattered in the void. A few old men had white hair and beards. Even though their combat strength was not strong, they could still fight 1 against 2, or even 3 against 1, entangling with the enemy. The Shun family's old ancestor, the supreme powerhouse who had created the new martial era, was laughing loudly. Worth it! The creation of the new martial era was worth it. In a mere 90 years, supreme powerhouses like King Wu and King of Hell had appeared. It was really worth it. Even if they died in battle today, they would not feel wronged. Zhang Tao, Li Zhen, kill a few more. 90 years ago, this old man was unwilling to accept defeat. I was unwilling to accept defeat, and I was unwilling to accept defeat. I have never been so vexed in my life. Today is so satisfying. The Guardian of the North, Chen Haotian. 90 years ago, in a great battle, he and the Chen family's old ancestor were heavily injured. Unwilling, aggrieved. Year after year, day after day, they were bullied, unable to resist, unable to fight back. Although the subduing heavenly king was strong, he could not change all of this. That year, after the defeat, he and Qin Gaiong decided that great waves would purge the sand, and the vast ocean would search for the lost pearl. There would come a day when new people would emerge, and new people would rise. And today, they had done it. The new martial era had been created for less than 100 years, and supreme powerhouses had appeared, killing monarchs like killing dogs. In one battle, 3 monarchs had fallen. Delightful. Congratulations. Martial King Zhang Tao's combat strength was unparalleled. With his strength alone, he was able to fight against 3 supreme powerhouses. This was his greatest achievement, his greatest pride. The beginning of a new martial era might be the best decision Chen Haotian had made in his life. Old Chun, it's a pity that you didn't see it, but you will see it sooner or later. Haha. The old man fought against two monarchs alone. His golden body was cracked, blood splattered, and the void was torn apart. But the old man was still laughing, carefree, not aggrieved. Even if I die here, I saw the death of a monarch in the catacombs. This is glory. Bang! A loud sound rang out, and the old man's right arm suddenly exploded. With a roar, he swung his left arm and punched through one of the monarchs. His opponent's expression was cold, ignoring the injury, and once again joined forces with another monarch to kill Chen Haotian. Old ancestor Shun, Li Jun, who was fighting with Fake King, suddenly roared. At this moment, sword chi pierced through the clouds, causing the sky to change color. A shocking sword aura exploded, instantly killing towards Chen Haotian's opponent. That monarch hastily retreated, but was still hit by the sword aura. His flesh was instantly cut into pieces, and he also roared, using all his strength to shatter the sword aura. At the same time, Fake King slammed his palm towards Li Jun, shattering his ribs and sending him flying. Outside, Heavenly King Jun saw this scene and sighed. The time is not right. After sighing, Heavenly King Jun's palm broke through the void, and suddenly, Fake King appeared outside the black fissure. Heavenly King Jun glanced at Myriad Goblin King, then at Fake King, and chuckled. Fine, fine. You guys together have some strength. Come and fight with me. As soon as he finished speaking, the three of them fell into the fissure and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Heavenly King Jin fought 1 against 2 and took away Myriad Goblin King and Fake King. In the crowd, Zhang Tao's expression was cold. Even if the two of them left, there were still dozens of monarchs here. Forget it. Looks like they don't want to show themselves. Zhang Tao laughed at himself. What a bunch of old turtles. Or do they think that since Heavenly King Jin is here, they don't need to fight anymore? Since they don't want to fight, and they don't want to show themselves. 7 Southern Region Old Cat will fight. Then forget it, other places. At this moment, Zhang Tao suddenly shouted, "Kill our way to the North Lake Catacombs." This angry roar caused the faces of the battle kings in the crowd to change. What is this guy trying to do? But soon, Battle King also gritted his teeth and said, "Let's go." Several monarchs fought as they retreated towards the North Lake Catacombs. Purple Cat Mountain was there. Zhang Tao probably had the intention to break into the bounded domain and pierce through this sky. Originally, if Old Cat did not attack, Zhang Tao was prepared to fight his way into Kuokang Mountain and drag Gong Zhuanzi down with him. That was his plan. But Old Cat came out of Kuokang Mountain and killed King Song. Although Zhang Tao was evil, he did not want to cause a bloodbath in the 7 Southern Region at this time. But how could 9 people retreat so easily against dozens of monarchs? King Feng also shouted angrily, "Kill them on the spot." They also knew about the existence of the bounded domain. No one had come out of the 7 Southern Region's bounded domain until now, which meant that no one would come out. Or the person inside the 7 Southern Region might be the owner of the bounded domain. No matter what, the other party did not come out now, which meant that they were ignoring this battle. But if they went to other places, it was hard to say if there would be other changes. Both sides fought continuously, flattening everything nearby. Even 90 years ago, the battle between dozens of monarchs was not as intense as today. 90 years ago, no one died. But today, 3 monarchs had already died. At the same time, 7 Southern Region. When he saw the projection of the Shun family's patriarch tremble and show signs of dissipating, Chen Yaozu's face instantly turned red. He roared angrily, unwilling and furious. Chen Haotian, his father's best friend, was about to die. Absolutely not. Chen Yaozu's aura became stronger and stronger. Unwillingness, anger, and all kinds of emotions attacked him. The Chen and Shin families had the best relationship. Chen Haotian was slightly stronger than his father, but he was seriously injured in order to save his father. They almost died in that battle 90 years ago. Chen Yaozu knew all of this. Today his father did not come. His father could not save him in time, but he could. If I can't reach the peak in 300 years, do I have to wait for another 300 years? Chen Yaozu roared angrily. At this moment, a giant dragon appeared. In the blink of an eye, it began to extend from 800 meters, 900 meters, 950 meters, 990 meters. In the next moment, it stopped. Chen Yaozu's eyes were cold. He suddenly laughed and said loudly, "I'll go first." After saying that, he crossed 1,000 meters in a step and disappeared in front of everyone in the blink of an eye. Fight! The peak was achieved through fighting. Fight to the peak. At the same time, Zhang Weiyu also shook his head helplessly, sighing, "I'm not as good as the minister of the three departments, still a little lacking." He let out a sigh filled with deep regret. "I'm not as good as the minister of the three departments." Zhang, Li, and Nan, the three of them had perfected their paths, fighting a rank 9 and breaking through, while they were a little lacking. If that was the case, then let's go and fight a true king. Zhang Weiyu also laughed heartily, stepping into the air and leaving. Fang Ping hurriedly threw out a large mass of imperishable substance, but Zhang Weiyu hit it back casually, smiling. The true king's legacy is enough. What they lacked now was not this. "Be careful," Fang Ping roared. He was a little unwilling, a little worried. Both Chen and Zhang had not broken through to the peak. If they joined the battle now, it would be extremely dangerous. Even if they were only a step away from the peak, if they joined the battle hastily, they might die instantly. Wu Chuan and Wu Quishan were about to take a step forward when the cat said lazily, "It's useless for both of you to go. Smack, kill them. Both of them can withstand a few moves and advance quickly." Although both Chun and Zhang had not advanced now, they had reached a limit. If they fought a true king, there was a chance that they would advance instantly. Wu, on the other hand, could not do it. There was still a brewing period, and he would be killed in the blink of an eye. Seeing that both of them were unwilling, the cat muttered, "There's still a fake god who's almost a true god over there. Both of you go and fight him. If you kill him, there's hope for both of you too." As soon as the words came out, both of them took off in the blink of an eye. They had almost forgotten about Qi Huanyu. Chun and Zhang used the true king as a whetstone. Then both of them would use Qi Huanyu as a whetstone. The cat, on the other hand, did not care about this anymore. Seeing that Fang Ping had sneakily picked up the Pine King's storage ring, it asked curiously, "Who's that? Your imperishable substance just now. Did it come out of thin air?" Fang Ping's body stiffened, but the cat said again, "This imperishable substance of yours doesn't seem to be yours. It was stolen." "Who's that? Someone seems like what?" The cat raised its head and looked at the sky. "I forgot. My memory has been deteriorating badly recently. Am I old? But I still feel very young. I've only slept a few times in my cat life. I haven't spent much time. Didn't they say that true gods were immortal and indestructible? Why is my memory deteriorating?" The cat thought about his cat life for a while. After 3 seconds of heat, he did not dwell on it anymore. Suddenly, he looked at Iron Head and said, "Who's that? You look a little familiar. Have we met before? Why have you become weaker?" Li Hansong did not know what to say. Without waiting for him to speak, the cat said again, "Forget it, I don't care. I'm not that familiar with you. You definitely haven't fed me before, otherwise I would definitely remember you." Everyone was stunned. "You only remember if I fed you before?" Chapter 843. The cat's dementia was acting up, and it could not remember anything. Fang Ping and the others did not dare to ask. At this moment, the murderous aura in the direction of Imperial Sea Mountain was soaring. Fang Ping suddenly had the urge to watch the battle. After struggling for a moment, Fang Ping said, "Lord Cat, can you bring us to Imperial Sea Mountain? Or watch the battle in other ways?" The cat shook its big head. "I can't go. I have to soak in the seawater. Once the Forbidden Sea's seawater leaves the Forbidden Sea, it will be ineffective unless I open up a path to Imperial Sea Mountain." "Does Lord Cat have to hide?" Fang Ping was puzzled. Since they were already out, why hide? The cat muttered, Gong Zhuanzi said that if I don't hide, everyone will kill me. Actually, I don't think I need to hide. Forget it, I'll hide. What if everyone wants to kill me? It was actually not too afraid. It did not fight. It was a good cat. Why would they want to kill it? However, since Gong Zhuanzi said so, to avoid trouble, it was better to hide. The cat muttered and said regretfully, "Too bad they're all gone. Otherwise, I won't be afraid." His old backers were gone. Otherwise, where could the cat not go? Back then, when the big dog bullied him, he blew the whistle and many powerhouses came to help, although they were still beaten up by the big dog. Not talking about the past, the cat continued to look up at the sky. Watch the battle? Watching the battle was what it was best at. How was it supposed to watch the battle? After thinking for a while, a mirror suddenly appeared in the cat's paws. With a smile on its face, it said happily, "Divine peeking mirror. I specialize in watching the battle. It's amazing." The mirror in the cat's hand had an ancient aura. It seemed to be thinking about how to use the mirror. After thinking for a while, the cat suddenly tossed the mirror into the air and muttered, "Big dog, bless me. Little sword, bless me. That person, bless me. Come out quickly, come out quickly." Fong Ping and the others were dumbfounded. That worked too. It really worked. The mirror suddenly enlarged dozens of times, like a giant wall. In the blink of an eye, a ray of light pierced through the void and headed straight for Imperial Sea Mountain. At the same time, Heavenly King suddenly appeared outside the rift. At this moment, Myriad Demon King and Life King did not appear. Heavenly King seemed to see this ray of light that ordinary people could not see. Divine peeking mirror. Why did it appear again? How could this be? Didn't the divine peeking mirror shatter long ago? Moreover, the fragment had been lost. So how could it appear in the hands of the cat? And what was this guy doing with it? Spy on the battlefield? This cat. Heavenly King Zhen suddenly had the urge to rob it. Just as he was thinking about it, the crack broke. In the next moment, the Thousand Goblin King and Fate King appeared at the same time. Fate King looked extremely pathetic. His eyes were cold and sharp, but he felt a little sullen. Compared to Heavenly King Jin Tian and Myriad Demon King, he was indeed much weaker. Although he was the lord of the true Monarch Palace, he hadn't reached the level of a twofold boost, and his foundation wasn't as solid as the other two. The Azure Cat was several thousand li away. If the Azure Cat felt that he had the strength of a titled true god, then it meant that he also had a trump card. As the #1 person in the Destiny Royal Court, it was only natural that he had some trump cards up his sleeves. But in terms of strength, he was indeed inferior to the two of them. While Ming Wang was still thinking, the Thousand Goblin King looked towards the 7 southern regions. He seemed to have faintly sensed something, and his gaze was a little strange. Did the experts of the 7 southern regions use some kind of treasure? A treasure from the ancient times? As he was thinking, the Thousand Goblin King's body suddenly trembled slightly, shattering an invisible wave. He snorted coldly, but didn't speak. 7 southern regions. On the huge mirror, 3 people appeared, faintly discernible. Suddenly, one of them snorted coldly and disappeared from the mirror in the next moment. The Azure Cat muttered, "So annoying. A big snake is the most annoying. I really want to stab it to death, but it's so powerful. I can't stab it to death." The Azure Cat was a little disappointed. It hated big snakes, but it was very difficult to stab it to death. Forget it. He would let it go. In the future, he would gather people to stab the big snake to death and eat snake soup. Snake soup? The Azure Cat muttered, as if thinking of something, and murmured, "This big snake. I seem to have eaten its ancestor before. Big Dog killed it. I think so." He couldn't remember. Big Dog had secretly hunted a big snake before. It was very, very strong, and its aura was similar to this big snake. It must have eaten its ancestor, right? It was muttering. Fong Ping and the others gulped again. They seemed to be facing these few powerhouses. Even their auras seemed to be simulated on the mirror. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly had the urge to kneel on the ground. Powerful. 3 powerhouses. He did not recognize any of them. Actually, Fong Ping had seen Heavenly King Garrison and Life King before, but he did not see them. Or rather, he had only heard their voices. He really did not know what they looked like. It was the same now. On the mirror, one of them disappeared. The other two did not disappear, but their faces could not be seen either. Life King's projection seemed to be clearer. Fong Ping took a look and seemed to see something different. Cat. Master Cat, this mirror, what is it used for? Fong Ping was stunned again, gulping a little. The others did not seem to feel anything, including Li Daong and the others. They did not realize anything. However, Fong Ping seemed to sense something wrong. In the mirror, on the Life King's projection, there seemed to be two horizontal lines running through the body. Fong Ping also vaguely saw another phantom. It was not very clear, and he could not see it clearly. The Azure Cat said matter-of-factly, "It's for watching a show." No, I mean that person has two lines on his body. Lines? The Azure Cat widened its eyes and looked, its big tail whipping the Jiao. After thinking for a while, unsure, it mumbled, "Main path? I don't remember. Isn't the divine peeking mirror for watching a show? I forgot. It's a little like the main path. Is it for peeping into the origin space? I still don't remember. If I can't see it clearly, it's useless." The Azure Cat mumbled. Fong Ping was sure. What the hell was this mirror? It was actually somewhat similar to his system's new function. It was reflecting the powerhouse's origin path. There was actually a divine weapon that could reflect origin path. What a joke. What kind of divine weapon was this? Fong Ping had always felt that although divine weapons were powerful, when in a desperate situation, all divine weapons were fabricated. Zhang Tao and the others could casually smash a rank 9 divine weapon without any difficulty. Even if it was a supreme divine weapon, it was only equivalent to having half the combat strength of a paragon. It would definitely be useful against weak paragons, but against a powerful paragon like Zhang Tao, a supreme divine weapon would probably be average and might not have any effect. However, now, the Azure Cat had shattered all his thoughts. A fishing rod hooked a true king to death. A mirror spanning thousands of miles, reflecting the true king powerhouse, even vaguely reflecting his origin path. It was really too scary. Fong Ping was still in shock. The Azure Cat shook its head and said, "I don't remember. The divine peeking mirror seemed to have broken once. Seems like it. I remember now. Many years ago. I don't remember how many years it has been. When Big Dog was still alive, it insisted on borrowing the divine peeking mirror. It seemed like it wanted to peep at the Emperor. It was probably so. I don't remember clearly, but it should be. Big Dog peeped, and in the end, the mirror was broken by someone. Meow, Big Dog owes me a mirror. Return it to me." Slap, slap, slap. The Jiao's big tail was almost swollen. The Jiao was whimpering nonstop. "What now? What now?" It did not say a word. This cat kept whipping it. Why? The Jiao was still whimpering. Fong Ping and the others had already forgotten how many times they had been stunned today. A dog found a cat and borrowed a mirror to peep at the Emperor. Then, it was discovered by the Emperor and the mirror was broken? Why was it that ever since this cat appeared, they felt like their worldview was collapsing? How old was this antique? The Emperor realm. Since ancient times, there was only one person who had the strength of the Emperor realm, the Demon Emperor. As for the human world, there were legends, but no one knew who it was. The only thing they knew was that the Catacombs Demon Emperor had the strength of the Emperor realm. And what was the era of the Demon Emperor? No one knew. It was said that the two kings were from the Demon Emperor era, and the two kings had a war with the sections. If that was the case, perhaps the Demon Emperor was before the sects, or even had something to do with the sections. No matter what, when the Azure Cat mentioned the Emperor realm, Fong Ping realized that this cat was probably even earlier than the sections. The Azure Cat maintained its enthusiasm for 3 seconds before forgetting. It glanced at the Heavenly King Subduer's projection and seemed to be deep in thought. After a while it said, "This guy is so strong. He's even stronger than that fake emperor of yours." Fong Ping's gaze moved again. He did not recognize it before, but now he asked, "Heavenly King Subduer?" "I don't know." The Azure Cat stared at the Heavenly King Subduer with its big eyes and suddenly said, "Old man, do you know me? It seemed to be talking to the heavenly king subduer in the mirror. There was no telepathy, no mentality outburst. It was just asking the shadow in the mirror. Just when Fong Ping and the others thought that its dementia was acting up again, in the mirror, the heavenly king subduer's shadow suddenly nodded slightly, its voice so low that it was almost inaudible. Azure Cat. Yeah, you really know me? The Azure Cat seemed to be a little excited, swinging its big tail and thinking hard. It said excitedly, I think I saw someone familiar. You know Little Sword, right? You seem to have come to Quechang Mountain with Little Sword before, right? Once we went fishing. Did you go with us? But I'm not too familiar with you. Are you Little Sword subordinate? I don't think so. Are you his friend? The Azure Cat was a lot more talkative this time. After a long time, it suddenly said dejectedly, I've forgotten a lot of things. Also, if you know Little Sword, why did you walk so many paths? Little Sword failed. You can't walk to the end. The paths are all blocked. The heavenly king subduer did not seem surprised, its voice getting deeper and deeper. Convergence of thousands of paths. The words convergence of thousands of paths made Fong Ping's eyebrows twitch. He seemed to have understood something. The heavenly king subduer seemed to know a lot of things. He even knew that the main path was blocked. He also knew that the more paths he walked, the harder it would be. However, he still chose to continue walking, choosing to walk a few paths. He wanted to say that when there are more paths, the convergence of thousands of paths will eventually form a great path, breaking through the blocked path. Will this work? Fong Ping did not quite understand. The Azure Cat did not seem too concerned either. At this moment, both parties were thousands of miles apart, without any mentality communication, but they just communicated just like that. The Azure Cat was deeply distressed by its memory loss, as if it was not very interested in the heavenly king subduer, saying weakly, do whatever you want. Also, the pseudo-emperor has appeared. You're in trouble. He'll beat you up sooner or later. Let him try. The heavenly king subduer gave a low laugh. In the blink of an eye, its figure disappeared in the mirror. Fong Ping's expression suddenly turned serious. What did it mean? Master Cat, what did you mean? Zhang Tao and the heavenly king subduer had a battle? Why? The Azure Cat said strangely, the emperor. Human and Tao converge. This person who is a little familiar. He did not converge. Of course the emperor will beat him up. Converge? The Azure Cat shook its big head again, saying irritably, you have so many questions. So annoying. I'm so annoyed, stop asking. Always asking, always asking. How would I know? I only remembered it when I saw it. Fong Ping also looked embarrassed, saying hurriedly, Master Cat, don't be angry. One last question, the kind where they have to fight to the death? Also, who will win? Fight to the death. When the Azure Cat heard his last question, it felt that it was better to finish quickly and shut him up, saying quickly, I don't remember, it's not necessary, right? The titled True God has jumped out of this boundary. It seems like it's fine not to care, but if I don't care, human and Tao have not converged, the emperor will not be so strong. That's not right, this acquaintance. If he becomes an emperor, then he can still give back to the emperor. Not really. What is it like? The Azure Cat wanted to cry. I just slept a few times. How could I forget so many things? Also, these people are really annoying. Gong Zhuanzi never asked. Even if he asked, he did not want to answer. If he did not answer, Gong Zhuanzi would not ask anymore. However, the pseudo-emperor and this thief had a lot of questions, and they kept asking. If he did not answer, what if he did not give him cat food? Skipping this topic, the Azure Cat immediately answered the next question, to prevent the thief from asking further, saying hurriedly, they are fighting, and now the pseudo-emperor seems to be unable to defeat him. But the pseudo-emperor is still getting stronger, and this acquaintance seems to be unable to go on. I don't know who will win. Having said that, the Azure Cat suddenly pulled a long face and said sternly, don't ask anymore. Ask again, and I'll poke you. So many questions. This cat is getting annoyed, you know. Ask again, and I'll feed you to the big dogs. The Azure Cat ignored him. The image on the mirror began to jump, and everyone's heart palpitated. Darkness. Infinite darkness. Outside Mount Imperial Sea, it became a dark zone. No one and nothing could be seen, as if everything did not exist, only the dark void. The Azure Cat controlled the mirror, and very quickly, it shifted to a huge crack. In the crack, they could vaguely see figures. They're fighting in the space battlefield. Fong Ping opened his mouth to ask, but after thinking for a while, he decided to forget it. He was afraid that this cat would really feed him to the dogs. He kicked Ironhead. "You can ask. You're also its acquaintance. You can ask." Li Hansong was embarrassed and whispered, "Cat. Master Cat, what is the space battlefield?" "It's a place where true gods fight, and it doesn't destroy the world. But there are many of them, and the space battlefield is also broken, so it will affect the world, and the nearby places have all been destroyed." The Azure Cat was very easy to talk to this time, and said happily, "But these people are stupid. Fighting in the space battlefield requires blood, and the source space is better." Ironhead wanted to ask again, but the Azure Cat seemed to have expected it. It stretched out its claws, and pried open the Jiao's big mouth. But the cat's face was full of threat. "Don't ask again. If you ask, you'll be fed to the big dogs." The Jiao's big mouth opened wide, its face full of innocence. "This has nothing to do with me. I came here today to be abused. I'm a rank 9 demon king, but now I'm worse than a dog." The Azure Cat did not give them a chance to ask questions, and continued to control the mirror to watch the battle. As if the space had been penetrated, a dark battlefield appeared in front of everyone. "Martial King, are you still not going to accept your fate?" A loud laugh reached everyone's ears. This mirror had the ability to transmit sound. Previously, when the subduing Heavenly King transmitted his voice, everyone already knew. Fong Ping felt that this thing was much more advanced than the surveillance device in the catacombs. Fong Ping was familiar with this voice. "Maple King." In the next moment, a complete picture appeared on the mirror. In the dark battlefield, dozens of true kings and many peerless powerhouses were still fighting at this moment. The humans, on the other hand, were obviously at a disadvantage. Fong Ping glanced at them. 9 of them, 3 of them were breathing heavily, including Li Jun. Li Jun, who was usually cold and powerful, was now leaning on the ground with his long sword. Golden blood dripped slowly along with the sword, and the dripping blood was extinguished by the sword aura in the blink of an eye. Li Jun's breathing was extremely unstable, and he was surrounded by a total of 4 true king powerhouses. Not far from Li Jun, Zhang Tao's crystal book had been completely shattered. Maple King, 100 Mountain King, Hua King, and many other powerhouses surrounded him. At this moment, the bamboo branch was also slightly broken. Zhang Tao's clothes were ragged, but he was still smiling. He chuckled. "Feng Ji, do you dare to fight me to the death? Even if I die, it's enough to take you with me. Who among you dares to kill me?" Although Zhang Tao was at a disadvantage, he was still laughing wildly. Kill me? Would these catacombs powerhouses dare to? With the strength he had displayed, even at this stage, he still had the ability to take away a peak true king powerhouse. Who would risk their lives to kill him? Maple King did not care. He said lightly, "Zhang Tao, you are indeed very strong. You are beyond our expectations. However, no matter how strong you are only one person. Everyone, after killing the other resurrected true kings, we will join forces to kill him. If 3 to 5 people were not enough, what about 10 or 20? No matter how strong they were still true kings, not emperors. When there were so many people, if all of them attacked, no matter how strong a martial king was, he would not be able to escape death. When that time came, would he still have the ability to perish together with others? The others also knew what to choose. At this moment, among the human peerless powerhouses, there were as few as 2 people surrounding them, and as many as Li Jun and Zhang Tao. Li Jun had 4, Zhang Tao 5. On War King's side, there were also 3 powerhouses surrounding him. Fong Ping glanced at them. There were 26 catacombs, true kings. In addition to the 3 who died in battle, as well as myriad Demon King and Life King, This time, the catacombs had sent out 31 true king powerhouses to kill the human powerhouses. 90 years ago, there was no such scale. At that time, it was only Skyplant's royal court that attacked. Skyplant's royal court had 49 true kings. That time, they only sent out about 20 people. This time, not only did they send out more people, but they also had more powerhouses. Rumble! A great battle broke out in an instant. Beside Fong Ping, Chen Qi's breathing suddenly became unstable. He gritted his teeth and said, "Old ancestor Shun." At this moment, Fong Ping and the others' gazes also fell on an old man. His hair and beard were all white, and his body was bathed in red blood. The old man was burly, but at this time, both of his arms were shattered. On his cheek, a crack ran through his face, his bones clearly visible. Although the old man was severely injured, he was still laughing heroically. "A bunch of trash. Come on, go. Trash. Are you afraid that I will self-destruct?" The old man's voice was like a great bell, his laughter carefree. There were a total of 3 powerhouses surrounding him. He was already at the end of his rope, but these people's attacks had weakened. At this stage, there was a high chance that Shin Haoyin would self-destruct. When a top powerhouse self-destructs, the power would be earth-shattering. They did not have the strength of Li Jun and Zhang Tao, who could kill their opponents quickly. They could only wear Shun Haoyin down. This, however, gave Shun Haoyin a chance to self-destruct. The 3 true kings were even more cautious now than before. Although the 3 true kings' attacks had slowed down, they did not give up. Under the bombardment, the old man's injuries became more and more serious. Damn bastard! At this moment, on Fong Ping's side, many people were furious. Li Daong suddenly did not want to watch anymore. He gritted his teeth and said, "I'll go find Qi Huanyu. I'll go too." These people did not want to watch anymore. If this went on, Shin Haoyin might die in front of their eyes. A top powerhouse who had protected humanity for hundreds of years, a pioneer of the neo-martial era, was going to die in front of them. They could not accept it. Li Daong, Beigong Xian, and the others all used the flight step and flew toward a battlefield in the distance. They could not kill a true king, but they could not just watch. They would kill Qi Huanyu first. Erwu seemed to be unable to take down Qi Huanyu for now. The number 1 person below the true king was indeed terrifyingly powerful. No wonder Zhang Tao said that he was the whetstone for many people to enter the desperate realm. Fong Ping and the others did not leave. Fong Ping took a deep breath. His gaze was solemn, and his mind was in turmoil. Today, in the battle of the top, I can only be a bystander. No, I don't even have the right to watch. This time, the bystander was Song Mao. He did not even have the right to watch. If he went, he would die. In the battle of Rank 9, he had killed hundreds of Rank 9 martial artists, fought with Origins, and even defeated a Fist Dao powerhouse who had just entered Origins. Fong Ping had been satisfied before. He was satisfied. However, at this moment, Fong Ping suddenly felt that he was too short-sighted. Top powerhouses. Only the top powerhouses were the true supreme combat strength. They were the invincible powerhouses who could change the direction of humanity. Only with a few more top powerhouses could humanity contend with the catacombs in terms of high-end combat strength. There were many human powerhouses. The Garrison King, the Martial King, and the Netherworld King were all top powerhouses. So what? There were too many catacombs true kings. Today, only 30 or so had come, but the 2 royal courts had a total of 103 peerless experts. The number of peerless experts in the 2 royal courts of the Demon Clan was much more than that. The Guardian royal houses might have fewer, but the 1,000 demon royal houses had more top powerhouses. No matter how strong Zhang Tao was, could he fight 1 against 10? He could not. It was difficult for someone like Li Jun, who was slightly weaker, to fight 1 against 3. If the top powerhouse's combat strength could not be balanced, then humans could only survive in the cracks. The Shun family's elder ancestor, the top powerhouse that Fong Ping saw for the first time, was now in front of him, surrounded by catacombs powerhouses and could fall at any time. This feeling of helplessness made Fong Ping feel indescribable grief and indignation. Just as Fong Ping was silent, a loud laugh was heard. Old Shun, are you still counting on Qin Gaiyong to save you? In the end, it's still me who will save you. The next moment, a figure appeared in the black battlefield. Qin 7 hurriedly said, Wei family's elder ancestor. Today, the Li, Shun, Zheng, Jiang, Jiang, Lu, Su, and Ming family's elders had all arrived. At this moment, the Wei family's elder ancestor had also arrived. Out of the 13 families in Star Town, the Yang family's elder ancestor had fallen. The Qin family's elder ancestor was guarding the West Mountain Passage, and Fong Ping knew of the other 2 families and the Zhou family. However, out of the 13 families, he only knew 12 of them. Even when he went to Star Town last time, he had not seen anyone from the last family. At this moment, Fong Ping could not help but ask Star Town's 12 elder ancestors, Are the others not here? The Zhou family's elder ancestor was not here, and neither was the other one. Qin 7 hesitated and said, Zhou family's elder ancestor should be guarding the 26 southern territories. The situation there is more complicated. As for, Qin 7 shook his head and said, Let's not talk about it. The Xiao family's elder ancestor and the Li family's elder ancestor were a little unhappy. These years, he has been guarding the territory alone, ignoring the outside world. He has not returned to Star Town for more than 100 years. Fong Ping frowned slightly. Star Town's internal problems? Since Chun 7 did not say, Fong Ping did not ask. Out of the 15 top powerhouses in Sino Nation, 11 had arrived today. Zhang Tao said that he would do whatever it took to start the downfall battle. This time it was really happening. At this moment, Fong Ping's attention was on the battlefield. The arrival of the Wei family's elder ancestor had slightly relieved Shun Haotian's pressure. However, the situation was still bad. Fong Ping prayed in his heart. Since old Zhang had initiated this battle, there must be a backup plan. There must be. Old Zhang, stop fooling around. Fong Ping was a little anxious, but there was nothing he could do. He did not want to suffer losses in the battle of the top powerhouses after a great victory in the rank 9 battlefield. That would make today's victory seem insignificant. Killing hundreds of rank 9s and 3 true kings was not as disastrous as losing one top powerhouse. Fong Ping was anxious, but the cat was watching with relish. It wanted to eat skewers, but realized that there were no more. It glanced at the gopher, then at the phoenix whose wings were broken. It wanted to eat some. If one did not eat skewers while watching a show, the taste would be reduced by 30%. It was a pity that the gopher was too smelly, and the big bird actually pooped too. Damn it, the cat was a little annoyed. It looked at the mirror again and said vaguely, It's a little familiar. That fatty? I think he brushed this cat's fur before. He was all mysterious and said that touching this cat will make it live longer. I don't know if it's him. Fong Ping's body stiffened. Did you mean Combat King? P.S. I'm a little dizzy from writing today. Strive for 3 chapters. No eagle will say. Also, at the end of the month, seeking monthly votes. Chapter 844. Fong Ping and the others were watching the battle. Outside Mount Royal Sea. With Forefather Wei's arrival, almost everyone who could come had arrived. Zhang Tao's aura, which was initially on the decline, suddenly rose again. He sighed softly and said, To overturn this chessboard, it's going to be difficult. As soon as Zhang Tao finished speaking, the shattered crystal book in front of him suddenly returned to its original state. Since we're all here, let's kill to our heart's content. Zhang Tao suddenly laughed wildly. The way of the human sovereign, the way of returning to one. It was for battle and also for defense. In the blink of an eye, the book in front of him suddenly expanded countless times. Previously, Kong Lingyuan used a folding fan to suppress 12 rank 9s. Kong Lingyuan was not Zhang Tao's student. Did she ask Zhang Tao? At this moment, the book in front of Zhang Tao was like a gigantic screen that covered the sky. In the blink of an eye, it also covered many true kings. It wasn't King Feng and his group, but King Huai and his group of weak true kings. This included Ji Hong, Huai King, Bamboo King, Green Wolf King, and many other true kings. These people were weak and had been attacking from the rear. There were about 7 or 8 of them. At this moment, Zhang Tao's book expanded and enveloped them. Words began to appear in the book. Defend, protect, defend, defend, suppress. Suppress them for a minute. Everyone kill. Of the 26 true monarchs, 7 of them had been enveloped. The eyes of King Feng and the others almost popped out of their sockets. King Wu, how many Daos had he fused with the Tao of coalescence? It was much stronger than he had imagined. This fellow definitely had the strength of a hall master. Destroy his great Tao book. Maple King roared. Although the 7 true kings were weak, no matter how weak they were still true kings. Zhang Tao had only thrown out the great Tao book and did not personally control it. It could be broken through very quickly, and it could even devour martial kings. This was a good thing. However, the 7 people who were trapped seemed to be hesitating. Their attacks were weak and feeble. The Maple King's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. Damn it! He had forgotten the thoughts of these weak, true kings. Since he was trapped, so be it. There was no need to go out and fight to the death. Today, the true kings of the land of rebirth had gone crazy. He hadn't expected things to turn out this way and get dragged into the war. Right now, these resurrected true kings seemed to be going all out. If they went out now, they would be the first to die. Moreover, Zhang Tao seemed to be covering for these people on purpose. Ji Hong, the son of Fake King. The Green Wolf King was suspected to be a pawn of the second king. King Huai was also a problematic fellow. Previously, he had not been able to trap and kill him, and instead, King Song had died. Covering these people was a group of true kings with the most serious problems. Zhang Tao could buy himself more time. In the blink of an eye, 7 of the 26 people were trapped. The remaining 19 people were up against the top 10 humans. Zhang Tao roared with laughter. I'll slaughter all of you today. He couldn't protect the 5 people in front of him. In other words, he had to fight 12 people at once. 12 true kings and many peak true kings. Arrogant. The Maple Monarch and the others were infuriated. They were truly too arrogant. Ji Hong, these bastards, didn't put in any effort. Weren't they afraid that the revived martial artists would make a comeback? Kill. The 5 experts dashed toward Zhang Tao at lightning speed. Even if the 7 of them did not put in much effort, Zhang Tao would still need to expend a great deal of energy to suppress them. This was also the moment when Zhang Tao was at his weakest. Rumble. In the space battlefield, there were no spatial cracks. This was the interior of a spatial crack. The energy of the true kings shook the void, but it didn't destroy the space. With the 5 experts working together, it was easy for them to defeat a martial king who wasn't at his peak. Zhang Tao's bamboo branch twitched. In the blink of an eye, it was suppressed by King 100 Mountains. More than 10 mountains stacked on top of each other, instantly suppressing the bamboo branch. Zhang Tao, who was bare-handed, was still incomparably fierce. He fought with his bare hands. His fist shook the void and sent King Hua flying. Blood spurted wildly in the air. The Maple Monarch took this opportunity to attack with a halberd, which pierced through Zhang Tao's shoulder blade. Zhang Tao was still fierce. With a roar, he grabbed the halberd and crushed it. This was not a divine weapon. There weren't many peak experts with divine weapons. Ordinary divine weapons were useless. This was the manifestation of everyone's origin great Tao, which was forged with mental energy and energy. You think you can kill me? Zhang Tao's eyes were filled with anger. He crushed the halberd with one strike and punched out again. A halberd appeared in the Maple Monarch's hand again. With boundless killing intent, he attacked Zhang Tao. Behind him, the other 2 monarchs also attacked Zhang Tao with their fists and palms. King Hua, who had been blasted away, and King 100 Mountain, who was suppressing the bamboo branch, also attacked. King Wu was killed. After killing King Wu, the resurrected martial artist collapsed. Kill! Zhang Tao roared again. His fist tore through the void and crushed the halberd again. However, at this moment, he was outnumbered. Being attacked by the others, he staggered and blood flowed out of his mouth. Zhang Tao roared like a bell. In the next moment, a sword appeared in his hand, and he tore through the void. The void-piercing sword. It was even more like the original than the original. At this moment, not far away, Li Jun used the void-piercing sword as well. He couldn't help but curse when he saw Zhang Tao's sword light covering the entire space. Damn it, you learned my technique, but you're even stronger than me. Is there any justice in this world? Void-piercing sword. Li Jun roared furiously as well. Today, King Wu had flaunted his power and created a magnificent feat. He had fought 12 monarchs by himself without the identity of a martial emperor. There were many reasons for this, but from today onwards, King Wu's name would be enough to shock the world. Since ancient times, no one other than a martial emperor could do this. Even if the 7 monarchs were just bystanders, Zhang Tao would still be remembered by the future generations. Was the demon emperor like this? Was the heaven-conquering king like this? These powerful experts might have fought against a group of monarchs, but none of them could fight so many monarchs like Zhang Tao. King Wu flaunted his power, but the Nether King was not weaker than anyone. The only way is to stop the killing by killing. Old ancestors, let's go all out. Li Jun roared furiously. He and Zhang Tao had taken on a total of 16 monarchs and 8 ancestral patriarchs. Could they deal with 10 monarchs? Yes. Not to mention that the War King and the Sword King were there. The War King gritted his teeth and laughed. Fine, fine. I'll let you have a taste of the War King's power. As soon as he finished speaking, the War King, who had never used a divine weapon, suddenly took out a huge tortoise shell. As soon as the tortoise shell appeared, the War King quickly crawled into it. In the blink of an eye, his limbs stretched out and his head appeared. Wearing the tortoise shell, he charged at the monarchs. In the crowd, the Su family's old ancestor laughed hysterically, tears almost flowing down his cheeks. Tortoise shell? Ha! Tortoise shell? Old Jiang. No wonder you've never used it in your entire life. Ha ha! You're dying of laughter. F***CKU. The War King cursed. What do you know? It's a good thing, a divine weapon. It's made of a desperate tortoise shell. I just didn't have the chance to use it before. Its defense is very strong. At the same time, 7 southern regions. The cat murmured, I think I ate the shell that the big tortoise threw away. Why did he pick it up? Fong Ping. Fong Ping did not say a word. At this moment, he was shocked by Zhang Tao's strength and his arrogance. This guy must be crazy. Old Zhang was definitely not a match for 12 monarchs. At this moment, he was already powerless. Fong Ping had already seen him getting injured one after another. Golden blood splattered all over the void. This was the first time Zhang Tao looked so powerless. From the moment he met Zhang Tao until now, he had never looked so defeated. He had always been full of confidence, invincible and invincible. Even when he was chased by many monarchs last time, he had everything under control and was not nervous at all. However, this time, Fong Ping felt his powerlessness. Are you pretending? Fong Ping murmured. The cat shook his head and said, I don't think so. Maybe he still has a life-saving trump card, but he's probably reaching his limit. One battle against 12 monarchs. Even if 7 of them did not contribute, Zhang Tao would not be able to pretend anymore. He had really performed to the extreme that the cat felt. Fong Ping's expression became solemn again. Could he win? Could he really win? Even if Zhang Tao single-handedly held back so many monarchs, he and Li Jun were powerless now. Li Jun's right hand had already been chopped off by a saber. The #1 person in Sino Nation on the surface, the mysterious Commander Li, who was respected by tens of thousands, was like a lonely boat in the sea, swaying in the wind and rain. Golden blood splattered continuously. The golden color of the blood became dimmer and soon appeared red. He had reached his limit. If this went on, he would die here. Li Jun, who had just stepped into the second path, could not fight 1 against 4 at all. He had overdrawn everything. Patriarch Jiang, kill 1. Li Jun roared. He could not hold on anymore. Zhang Tao too. If this went on, He and Zhang Tao would be defeated, and Sino Nation would be in danger. What was Zhang Tao thinking? He said he was pretending to be injured, but now he was no longer pretending to be injured. If he was not careful this time, 10 paragons would die here. Warlord's face was red, sweat pouring down like rain. If he was still sweating like rain in a desperate situation, that was also a sign of overdrawing. At this moment, he heard Li Zhen's roar and cursed for a while. What was he roaring for? Did he not want to kill? Did he really think true monarchs were easy to kill? I can't hold on anymore. 8 of them against 10 true monarchs. Among them, Shen Haotian's side was already on the verge of collapsing after fighting one. How could it be easy for him to fight one against 2? At this moment, Zhang Tao suddenly roared, 30 seconds left. Even if the true monarchs were idling, they also began to attack the books. At most 30 seconds, their defense would be broken. At that time, it would be over. No matter how the 7 true monarchs wanted to break out of the realm, they would attack them, causing great pressure. Hearing this, the warlord panicked and suddenly cursed. Do you really think I can be bullied? Die! A roar resounded throughout the space battlefield. The next moment, a deafening explosion was heard. The warlord was sent flying, leaving only his head. The head returned to flesh in the blink of an eye, but the tortoise shell had disappeared. The 2 true monarchs fighting him were also heavily injured. Wearing the tortoise shell, the warlord self-destructed the tortoise shell and his body, fighting to the death. As the top paragons on the combat power leaderboard, there was no reason for the other party not to be heavily injured. Among the 2, the tortoise of one of them exploded, and his head also shot toward the warlord. The warlord took the initiative and seized the initiative. The moment his body recovered, he grabbed the other's head and roared. Golden light illuminated the sky, pierced through the void, and illuminated the entire royal sea mountain. Today, I will kill another true monarch. This roar shattered the space, and even the royal sea mountain was shaking. Boom! The head exploded, and the spirit manifestation appeared. As soon as it appeared, the warlord pounced on it like a ferocious tiger, tearing the spirit manifestation apart with his hands. Die! Rumble! Heaven and earth shook, and blood appeared in the sky again. Another true monarch had fallen. Today, a 4th true monarch had died. Yang Wang! The Maple King roared again. He pierced Zhang Tao's throat with his halberd and shouted angrily, Bamboo King, do you want to die? 7 true monarchs. You didn't even break Zhang Tao's defense. You've gone too far in pretending to be weak. Because of you, another true monarch died in battle. He was on good terms with Yang Wang, but he had died here. This made the Maple King extremely angry. The Heavenly Plant's royal court had also suffered heavy losses this time. The Purple Radish King, Earth's Sunflower King, Pine King, and Yang Wang were all from the Heavenly Plant's royal court. Something big was going to happen after this battle. The Maple King was still roaring, but the warlord had already pounced on the 2nd true monarch. The 2nd injured true monarch also had a cold look in his eyes. He didn't continue to fight to the death, but instantly fled toward Ji Hong and the others. These 7 people did it on purpose. They were avoiding the battle on purpose. Damn it, the warlord wanted to fight with his life on the line. Go find them. He wasn't going to accompany them. At this time, Ji Hong and the others also seemed to be exerting their strength. The book began to crack, and it was about to fall out. Seeing this, the warlord's face was full of unwillingness. He probably wouldn't be able to kill a 2nd true monarch in time, even if the other party was seriously injured. At this time, 2 figures appeared and entered the battlefield in the blink of an eye. The 2 of them were imposing, and without saying a word, they quickly attacked the injured true monarch. How dare you? An ant dares to attack this king. The true monarch was furious. 2 non-true monarchs actually dared to enter the true monarch battlefield. They were courting death. It's enough to kill you. Chen Yaozu roared toward the sky. His sword was as fast as lightning, going straight for the other party's head. Zhang Weiyu's long spear appeared, and he also roared crazily, fighting with all his might. Today, he would fight to the peak and paved the path of the great Tao with the blood of a true monarch. Boom! In the blink of an eye, an explosion sounded. Chen Yaozu's long sword was broken. This was not a divine weapon, but one of his big tools. His divine weapon had long been destroyed in the previous battle. A mouthful of blood spurted out. In the distance, Zhang Tao suddenly roared, "Fight him! If you don't die, you will definitely reach the peak." Chen Yaozu, in this life, you only have one chance. If you don't succeed, you will die. Li Jun roared angrily. "Without battle merits, you can't die. Use the blood of a true monarch to advance." The two human leaders roared. Chen Yaozu also had a crazed look on his face. This was his only chance. If he didn't succeed this time, he would die. Chen Yaozu is willing to fight. Chen Yaozu roared, and with his bare fists, he suddenly charged forward. Zhang Weiyu also did not say a word. Two top-notch rank 9 surrounded this true monarch and started fighting. A true monarch powerhouse was unbeatable. However, they were also prepared to die, fighting a heavily injured true monarch. If they did not die, they would reach the peak. King Feng smashed Zhang Tao's right hand with a palm and roared again. "Do you all still want to see more false monarchs in the land of rebirth?" Zhang Tao was fighting with his life. At this moment, he could not leave. Ji Hong and the other 6 came out, killing 2 not true monarchs instantly and surrounding the other resurrected true monarchs. This battle was a great victory. At the cost of several true monarchs' death, they defeated the strongest land of rebirth, Sino Nation. However, if these 7 people did not come out, once the 2 of them became true monarchs and killed another heavily injured true monarch, this battle would have many variables. Crack! There was a cracking sound, and Zhang Tao's book officially began to collapse. At this moment, Zhang Weiyu roared, and the divine spear stabbed into the other party's chest at extreme speed. In the blink of an eye, the spear self-destructed. The injured true monarch spat out a mouthful of blood, and his eyes were bloodshot. It was one thing to be defeated by a war monarch, but to be defeated by 2 ants, it was a fate worse than death. Die! This person's chest was injured by Zhang Weiyu's self-destructing spear, and a hole appeared in his chest. At this moment, he was infuriated, and with a palm, he smashed half of Zhang Weiyu's skull. Zhang Weiyu's skull cracked, but he did not care, and charged forward again. Seeing that the other party was about to strike a second time, beside him, Chen Yaozu suddenly roared into the sky. At this moment, in the dark void, the sword gleamed like a scorching flame. Achieving Dao from a neo-martial. That's a neo-martial sword. A loud laugh echoed through the void. A long sword suddenly appeared in the dark space. The long sword exploded with a dazzling light, and a sword fell from the sky, slashing toward the true monarch. Damn it! The other party had broken through. At this moment, Chen Yaozu was the first to advance to the peak. The true monarch was about to smash Zhang Weiyu's skull, but at this moment, he had to change direction and hit the long sword with his palm. Rumble! A loud sound rang out again, and Chen Yaozu's long sword shattered again, but the other party's palm was also cut in half. Damn it! What's worse is this? At the same time, Zhang Weiyu, who only had half of his head left, laughed loudly. A long spear suddenly appeared, and the spear pierced through the other party's chest, piercing through. Outside the space battlefield, in the void, 2 phantoms suddenly appeared. One was holding a spear, and the other was holding a sword. The 2 of them fought a true monarch, and without dying after 3 moves, the Tao of the peak opened. Rumble! At the same time, Zhang Tao's book shattered. King Feng laughed loudly. Even if he broke through, so what? Even if a true monarch had just died, so what? 25 true monarchs, 12 true monarchs. All of them were half dead. How could they fight? King Wu was dying. King Hades was dying. How could they fight? This was a pleasant surprise. This time, the resurrected martial artists actually fought to the death, forcing the kings of Godland to fight to the death. Now, 12 true monarchs were trapped here. If they killed all of them in this battle, The land of rebirth would no longer be a threat. What do you think? At this moment, the war monarch, who had just lost his opponent, seemed to have been neglected. He suddenly appeared behind the injured true monarch, roared, and smashed his opponent's head with a punch. Chun and Zhang, the two newly ascended paragons, cooperated well, and a sword and a spear pierced through the air. Rumble! A wave of mental energy exploded, and blood rain actually condensed in the sky. Too many true monarchs had died today, a total of 5. This was also the most true monarchs had died in battle in the past 1,000 years. The Tao collapsed, and the more it condensed, the heavier it became. On this day, half of the catacombs saw the blood-red color of the southern region. It covered the sky and covered the sun. Even the energy sun was reflected in blood red. Blood sun. With the death of 5 true monarchs, the Tao continued to collapse, including Mystic Jade True Monarch who had died a few days ago. 6 true monarchs had fallen in just a few months. At this moment in Sky Plant City, Li Zhu stopped drinking and enjoying himself. He looked toward the south with a complicated expression. How many true monarchs had died? Even from hundreds of thousands of miles away, he could see the thick blood-red color in the south. Next to him, the Heavenly Elm Guardian also crushed his wine cup and said with a half-smile, "At least 5 true monarchs have fallen." The war has not started yet. Zhang Tao has put in a lot of effort this time. Li Zhu suddenly chuckled and shook his head slightly. He had really put in a lot of effort. Killing 1 or 2 true monarchs might not be a big price for King Wu. Killing more than 5? King Wu was probably in big trouble this time. What a pity! Li Zhu suddenly sighed. What a pity that I am not here. Today, there might be hope to kill King Wu. But that trash phone monarch, coupled with those fellows who seem to be united but actually divided, there might be more changes. It would be difficult to kill King Wu, the place where the true monarchs fought. Inner area. In a huge palace. Several figures floated above the palace, as if they could see through the world wall and everything, including the scene in the south. An old and low voice said, "The true monarchs have fallen. The outside world is in chaos. Chaos is coming. It is just a sign of great chaos. With the blood of the true monarchs, let us welcome the arrival of chaos." 5 true monarchs had fallen one after another. On this day, there were disturbances everywhere. Some domains, including the Tsang mountain range, were in turmoil. The world wall trembled, and the energy tide erupted in advance. In the depths of the Forbidden Ocean, there seemed to be living beings stepping out of the sky and looking toward the 7 southern region. It had been peaceful for 1,000 years. Ever since the disappearance of the Demon Emperor, there had not been a day like this in the God Continent. True monarchs had fallen continuously, and the rain of blood covered tens of thousands of miles. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.